to panic by petrol, with the government confident there is enough supply. The cost of oil and gas has increased as a result of the latest Middle East conflict. Australia's consumer watchdog has been asked to monitor for price gouging. Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen says he's been assured oil refiners will do the right thing.
There will be challenges in this difficult environment in the Middle East. The Straits of Hormuz is a very important supply chain for the world, not just for Australia, for the world, including to Singapore and Southeast Asia, where we get most of our petrol. So there are real challenges, but there is no need for panic buying. That will just make the situation worse.
The ACTU wants minimum annual leave lifted from 4 weeks to 5. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
The Australian Council of Trade Unions wants full-time workers to get, at the very least, 25 days annual leave, and for shift workers, 30. The Financial Review says the 4-week standard hasn't changed in half a century. It's part of a parliamentary inquiry into national employment standards and could be controversial as the economy faces a productivity slump. The ACTU says time off needs to increase to counter rising work pressures and, in many industries, long hours of unpaid work to keep ahead.
Tax breaks for Teslas and other high-end electric cars could soon be axed under a proposal the federal government is considering for the May budget as it tries to claw back $3 billion in deductions. The government is also reviewing the zero tariff on imported electric cars. Doctors are warning not to be complacent around hay fever as we approach the cooler months. Allergies can be caused by a range of factors, and while spring is commonly known for increased pollen counts, autumn and winter present their own challenges. Dr. FIVEAA's Ridian Harris says spending more time indoors can expose people to certain triggers.
We have more of a wet weather system whereby moles might be more predominant, and of course indoors we're exposed to dust mites, and that's probably the most common allergies we see.
And South Australians were treated to a spectacular blood moon last night. The last total lunar eclipse to be seen from Earth for the next 3 years was visible throughout the Americas, Asia and Australia. Locally, the eclipse started about 20 past 8 and was visible till almost midnight. The astronomical event happens when the Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, turning the moon a blood red colour. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
I would say here's Tom Wren, but I can't get his microphone on. He might have to shuffle over here.
No, we'll come on over here, Kate. That's all good. Let's start with a little bit of footy, shall we? Adelaide and Port Adelaide's players will both hit the training track this morning as they prepare for their round 1 matches next week. Plenty of concerns for both clubs ahead of their season openers. The Power hoping Jack Lukosius will be okay after missing the final pre-season clash against West Coast with a groin issue, while the Crows will be monitoring several players, including James Peatling and Mitch Hinge. Patrick Dangerfield, meantime, is in doubt for Friday night's clash with Gold Coast as he recovers from a calf injury. The Cats skipper telling Fox Footy he'll be tested on Thursday.
We won't take a risk that's unnecessary regardless of whether it's round 1, but it's sort of, you'd rather miss 1 than miss 4. So Thursday morning sort of D-Day around me, and we've probably got a few others in that boat.
And some good news for Hawthorn with captain Jai Newcombe free to play against the Giants on Saturday after having a 1-game ban for a dangerous tackle overturned at the tribunal. To soccer now, defending champions China have kicked off their Women's Asian Cup campaign with a 2-0 win over Bangladesh. That match was played in Parramatta. Meantime, there's a stack of English Premier League action on this morning. Several matches just kicking off. Leeds at home against Sunderland. Bournemouth is up against Brentford, while Everton is hosting Burnley. And a little later this morning, Wolverhampton will be hoping to make it back-to-back wins against Liverpool. And the NBL finals tip off tonight with the South East Melbourne Phoenix taking on the Perth Wildcats. The winner of that game will play against the Adelaide 36ers in a semi-final series. Kate, we got through no problems. That is the 5AA Sport.
Thank you so much, Tom. Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 27 degrees. 26 the top and sunny for your Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27. And on Saturday too, a top of 28 degrees. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, We specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
When your child is sick, you shouldn't have to wait weeks to see a GP. That's why Family First will fight to see more local doctors trained, so you and your family can see a doctor when you need one. Family First will take the pressure off your family's health.
Vote 1, Family First.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton, Family First Party, Norwood.
Now, when it comes to dining out, if you're after a place that does it all, head to 150A King William Road, Hyde Park. By day, it's the ever-popular Hello Neighbour, open 7 days for brunch and lunch. Warm, relaxed and instantly welcoming. Great coffee, generous plates and a menu of proper brunch favourites. Then, as the sun goes down, Wednesday to Saturday, the same venue transforms into Artusi by night. It's an intimate Italian dinner experience. Artusi's Gnoccheria and Pasta Bar offers fresh gnocchi, handmade daily from 6 p.m, right in front of you. Rich sauces, steak and fish mains, and they cater for gluten-free, celiac and vegans.
This place really is terrific. So it doesn't matter if it's brunch with friends or a dinner date. You'll find it all at one address. Hello Neighbour by day to catch up with friends, and then for a romantic evening together, Artusi by night for dinner. 150A King William Road, Hyde Park.
Losing your grip on things? If painful and stiff hands are affecting the things you enjoy and everyday life, get in touch with Grip. Grip is a specialised hand and wrist practice with a team of highly qualified hand surgeons and therapists specialising in hand trauma, carpal tunnel syndrome, osteoarthritis, joint replacement, sports injuries, nerve pain and more. To get a grip on the life you loved before, free from hand pain, visit gripsurgery.com.au.
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes ACE.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices. Gotcha. A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
This Mad March, Adelaide comes together for one massive celebration. Racing, fashion, music and performers collide at Mad March's main event, the Sportsbet Adelaide Cup. From champagne pours and front row views to Club Largo, CC Giddy Up Club and Family's Own Fun. Kids under 17 free. Trackside after racing, Shannon Knoll and the Jungle Giants DJ set. General admission from $35. Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, Monday, March 9 at Morfettville. The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's FIVEAA Breakfast.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
9 after 6, good morning to you and welcome to Wednesday on FIVEAA Breakfast, the 4th of March. Did any of our clever photographer listeners last night snap the blood moon? If you did, text it through your best pic to us on 0480081395. We're going to be chatting about the blood moon with astrophysicist Brad Tucker in a few moments' time, but we would love to get your pictures up on our social media over the course of the day. The other thing we want to get are your AFL predictions. Tom Wren's going to be in very shortly, and this is our tradition on the eve of the AFL season to try to cobble together a sort of top 8, top 10 this season. Brownlow tip, wooden spooners and all that kind of stuff. We're going to do that with Rennie shortly, but we'd want you to be a part of that segment this year as well. We'll tell you how in just a moment. We are off to Bahrain in the Middle East as we find another expat Australian radio host, actually, Shannon Crockett, who lives in the capital of Bahrain, who themselves found, I think, to their own surprise, under attack with regard to Iranian reprisals. So we'll cross live to the scene there. Chris Reason again with his peerless coverage from Tel Aviv. After 7, they've again been the subject of a huge barrage of missiles, but there's been plenty going the other way, and the Lebanese front now, from an Israeli perspective, is a very interesting one. Sean Fuster on the program. Koshi will tell you what's happening with money markets that overnight have seen red in Europe. The US hasn't looked great. Oil continues to spike. It's heading in a concerning trajectory for investors, so we'll talk to Koshi about all that. But David Penberthy, the headliner this morning is the democracy sausage. It's back. Because the democracy sausage, thanks to our great friends at Najobi, is back bigger and better than before. And you, our wonderful listeners, can be involved in the process earlier than ever before, because at 8:30 this morning, live in Hindmarsh Square, we have not one, not two, but 3 prototypes for you to taste test, and it will be your vote that determines which democracy sausage is on Barbies on election day. But you have to come to Hindmarsh Square, 8:30 this morning. If you want to be an official taste tester, come down, and it could be you that makes the ultimate call. That's democracy at work.
Nothing says good times like experimental sausage. I think I saw them at La Rocks in 1985. So Sam's going to be out in the square. We're going to have 3 different types of sausage. I'm not exactly au fait as to what they are. So
I don't think we're going to tell. I'm not sure we're going to tell people. We don't want to pollute their minds with, preconceived ideas.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're told something's going to taste great, and then you go, okay. Like, you can't tell someone what something tastes like. What something tastes like is what you think it tastes like.
And this is
coriander being the ultimate example of that.
That's a good one. This is not, reality TV. We're not going to reveal after the fact that one of them.
Reality TV.
We're not going to reveal after the fact that one of them contained, sheep brains or something. Right? These are all stock standard.
Yeah. You've been punked, dude.
Joke's on you.
Yeah,
no, we're not doing that. But we're serious about the democracy sausage.
There would be no grasshoppers in the sausages.
There's no grasshoppers.
Despite the start of the program,
Najobi, high-quality stuff.
Where I may, in hindsight, have spent a little bit too long talking about how much I like eating insects.
I thought you were on the take, frankly, from one of the big grasshopper producers.
Are you saying this was like,
cash for comments?
They're called chapulines in Spanish. Were you saying it was chapulin for comment?
Yeah, I think it was chapulin for comment. I think it was.
Let's just say I've got an untraceable offshore Mexican bank account under the name of El Mencho, El Penmo. That blood moon last night was great.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, it was really good in our neck of the woods. We were tucked up in bed, Will.
Oh, I must have been.
I don't even know how eclipses are made. What was happening? What was in front of what?
I think this one, we were in front of the moon.
Good thing we've got an expert coming on.
Yeah, we're in front of the moon because...
I see an eclipse and all I think is the gods are angry. That's my primitive take on what's going on.
Bring the pets in. David's in a sacrificial mood.
That's right, exactly. I need a beating heart. Also, really bad stuff's going to happen.
Andrew, I like this. Andrew on the text line.
I did spend too long in Mexico.
He says he took his photo with his iPhone 17 of the blood moon, and it's just he took a picture of a street lamp. Thank you, Andrew. I don't know if that one's going to make the website. Sorry, Andrew. Cracking picture of a street light, though.
That's not a street light. That's the blood moon, isn't it?
No, look at the...
Is it a lamp? I know it's actually it's a street light. It's the blood moon, except it's got a giant metal pole holding it up in the air.
If you got a picture of the blood moon or a particularly compelling picture of a local street light, send it through to us on 0480 08 1395. Or you can call in on 8223 0000 and tell us all about it.
I tell you what, no one likes going to a long meeting, but the old Tehran mullahs get-together last night didn't go very well, did it? I've called you all here to discuss who's next in line to take over in the absence of Mr. Khomeini.
Don't they have teams in Iran?
No.
Microsoft Teams is made for this kind of situation, wasn't it?
Large groups of mullahs gathering together to discuss the Iranian revolutionary leadership. I'd probably be doing that remotely right now.
And if I was over there in the running and my mates are saying, you've always been keen on being the Supreme, you should throw your hat in the ring. I'm keeping my powder dry at the moment. Just wait it out a couple of weeks.
Sadly, not everybody else is.
No, indeed.
It really is
remarkable.
Unbelievable.
The level of intel is actually...
I know.
It's frightening.
Exactly. Like how the hell can they go, all right, this is the building, these are the people,
this is the
time, this is the floor. Although let's not be too sort of giddy with excitement about it, because they have also blown up a school.
Yeah.
And killed about 150 children.
The intel seems better than the precision munitions.
It is bloody horrible. Like, imagine being just an ordinary person living there.
I know. I was speaking to someone who... there's a lot of... We spoke to Abraham Arman yesterday, Abraham Zadeh, about his family. A lot of Iranian people around the world, a lot that fled the country and have very mixed feelings about what's going on over there because they have no love lost for the administration. But you're watching your cities get blown to smithereens. You're watching places you've known and probably have fondness for. I heard a story yesterday about someone that was sitting at their desk in an office in Adelaide, just sobbing.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you go, okay, you're in Adelaide, you're trying to go about your life, and you go, well, what if my grandma's all right?
Yeah, totally. And the anxiety of not knowing what comes next.
Totally.
Because nobody does.
No.
I mean, it could be just as bad, it could be worse, it could be 10 times better, but there's absolutely no plan as to how it's going to unfold.
The only thing you can say is there is no guarantee. Recent history's taught us there's no guarantee they're replaced by something better, which is not an argument against not get rid of scumbags, but
no,
the outcome isn't always great.
Yeah. I think it's quite possible logically to be a fan of both Plan A and really, really troubled by Plan B.
Completely.
Like, I see what's happened there and I think, well, these bastards have been doing evil things for almost 50 years. Well, let's call it 50 years. 49 years. 1977 it all started. You think about all of the terror that they've experienced. I mean, they were trying to blow up a synagogue 800 kilometres away from here in Melbourne. That was an Iranian-sponsored attack. Well, they weren't trying to. They did. They burnt it. They burnt the synagogue. It was the Iranians who did that. Like, it's not like it's some remote, it's just something that's happening over there. No. And they would look at Bondi licking their lips going, this is the model.
It's what they want to have happen.
This is the model for how to go after Jews, how to stamp their name in their demented interpretation of Islam. So, anyway, it's all getting a bit too heavy. Hey, a lot of good photographs of the blood moon coming through, though.
Cracking photographs. Neil from Williamstown sent us one. Marty says his mate Ross in Kapunda took one. A lot of them have zoomed in so much it's hard to tell one from the other, but they do look spectacular.
That one that Marty sent from Kapunda, that looks like it was taken by Neil Armstrong.
It does look amazing.
He's not with us, though, anymore, is he, Neil? Or is he?
Good question. Neil's not. Buzz Aldrin, he's still getting around.
Buzz is still going.
Decking people.
Oh, well, how good was that when he dumped that conspiracy theorist?
19 after 6. Back with more in a moment.
At Coles, you can save all summer long. Right now, get half-price La Española olive oil 1 litre for just $13 each. Offer ends Tuesday. Excludes organic and Hoji Blanca.
The company you keep keeps unpacking sport and entertainment's untold stories and keeps you part of rugby leagues in a huddle. Keep good company with the Backstage podcast.
Hi, I'm Mark Aldridge from United Voice Australia Party. We're a team of experienced advocates seeking to unite everybody together in the community. We have innovative and compassionate policies to address affordable housing, power, cost of living, homelessness and unity. We understand our ailing health system needs more than just a few beds. It requires entire hospitals, increased practices, more staff and more ambulance services. Vote United Voice Australia and enjoy responsible policies. Spoken and authorised by M. Aldridge for United Voice Australia at Lot 105 Taylors Road, Penfield Gardens, 5121.
At Holistic Care SA, care is just the beginning. They focus on building capacity, helping people with disability develop the skills, support and confidence they need for independent living.
Whether it's creating a resume, catching a bus to the footy or learning to cook for themselves in the home of or in one of theirs, Holistic Care SA tailors their services to make those milestones happen step by achievable step. If you're interested in learning about their housing options, they offer part-time or full-time carer supervision, and great attention goes into placements with like-minded housemates.
For a friendly chat about support with independent living, visit holisticcaresa.com.au because everyone deserves the chance to become who they're meant to be.
At Mobile Auto Care, we're serious about keeping your car in tip-top shape without you having to leave home or work. We fix that drop-off, wait, car's ready, pick-up problem. And for those bigger jobs, our new state-of-the-art workshop in Richmond is now open. It's bigger, better and busier. So we're looking for qualified mechanics to join our team. Interested? Call 8354 0055. Mobile Auto Care. Serious about bringing service to you.
Over 90% already gone. Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery now. Win the $4 million grand prize, a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home in Henley Beach South, including $300,000 cash. Our last lottery sold out early and tickets are already over 90% sold. Get yours now. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14894.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to not deal with organising all the trades? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? To the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. Plus, we can manage the installation and all sub-trades at a fixed price. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
22 after 6, terrific photos of the blood moon coming through. Rita says she took photos of the blood moon on night mode on her phone. Amazing how good phone cameras are these days. You can get high-quality pictures of stuff that once upon a time would have required a semi-professional setup. Dr. Brad Tucker has arguably probably the best setup in Australia. He's an astrophysicist at ANU. Dr. Tucker, good morning to you.
How's it going?
We're admiring these wonderful pictures our listeners have sent through to us of the blood moon last night. Viewing conditions in Adelaide were terrific. What exactly were our listeners looking at?
Yeah, look, I think some people had a fantastic view of this lunar eclipse. And this is when last night we saw the moon go into the Earth's shadow. So as people started to see the moon disappear, that's kind of when it started to turn into Pac-Man. It started to go into the Earth's shadow. And then when it was fully in the shadow, that's when you get that kind of red blood color. And that's actually caused by a little bit of sunlight skimming our own atmosphere and keep going out. And that's why some people got some very bright, vivid colors.
So it's this Earth's shadow we're looking at, because I was one of my children. He's only 8. He said, "Dad, what creates the blood moon?" And I just said, "Pass. I got no idea."
No, it's exactly. We don't think of it, but the Earth does cast a shadow out in the space.
Yeah,
and so in order for a lunar eclipse to happen, it has to be perfectly behind the Earth as viewed from the sun. So you have to have a perfect line for that to happen. Otherwise, the moon isn't quite in the shadow, and you don't get anything.
Well, we were standing in the yard. It was a heck of a view, Dr. Tucker. How often do we get a chance to see it? And what are the things that make it as good as it was last night?
Yeah, so look, we get them in series. So you kind of get them in series of every 6 months for a few years. So we did have one about 6 months ago on a Sunday. It wasn't great for anyone. It was in the middle of the night. And then you usually have to wait a couple of years, and then there's another set of a few that happen every 6 months. The next one for us in Australia won't be until New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, 2028 into 2029, which will be cool for its own reason, right? No. And look, the color, that's really the coolest thing, because it's actually what's going on in our atmosphere. So depending on, if there's a lot of cloud or aerosols, a great example a number of years ago when there was the volcanic eruption from Tonga that put a lot of dust and aerosols in the air and made some really vivid colors. And so with the lunar eclipse, depending on where you are, the color may look different. So the color in Adelaide was slightly different than the color in Brisbane, for instance, and then the color in the U.S. So it all has to do with what's in our atmosphere and how light's going through it on its way to the moon.
It's an awesome thing, and that's a really, really good explanation. Now I'll be ready with my response next time the kids bail me up with questions about astrophysics, Dr. Tucker. Thanks to you. Good on you, mate. Brad Tucker, the ANU astrophysicist and cosmologist. I love that guy.
It is interesting as he makes the point that they come in these sets of every couple of months, because it has felt like we've been have a few blood moons of late, but yeah, that won't be one for a little while. The temperature today here on Earth, top of 27, 13.1 degrees outside at the moment. That will feel pretty cold. The next few days still quite mild, given where we've been. 26 tomorrow, the top 27 Friday. The weekend, 28 both Saturday and Sunday. It looks like it's going to warm up next week. 30 on Monday, 33 on Tuesday. No rain and sunny pretty much every single day on the forecast. So some magnificent weather is on our way over the course of the next couple of days. Now, footy's on our way in the next couple of days. Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast studio. This is one of our favourite Tom Wren chats of the year when we all look like absolute dopes, putting in our predictions for the year. Agostino Mitsubishi's Triton Frenzy sale is on. Get free genuine fitted accessories on Triton 4x4s. T's and C's apply. Rennie, good morning to you.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. I'm hoping that Paddy and Jess aren't putting or taking notes down to, keep a record of this. So let's hope that's not the case. But let's get into it, shall we? Now, are we doing the top 10 or we're doing the bottom 8? How are we going to do it?
I've done 10.
All right, well, I've done 10 too.
Yep.
Will, you at your 10?
Yep.
All right, well, I'll quickly go first. I've got Brisbane and Sydney making the grand final. I've got Gold Coast and the Bulldogs rounding out the top 4. I've got the Crows 5th. I've got Port 10th. My other 4 sides, Geelong, Hawthorn, Fremantle, Collingwood, probably biggest omissions, St Kilda and GWS. I've got them outside the top 10.
Yeah. The only different I've got for you, I've got St Kilda and over Port.
No, fair enough.
I've got St Kilda in my 8. I've got them in the top 4.
Wow.
That's because I don't know much about football.
No.
Well, they went on a spending spree over summer.
They've been bold.
Over winter. What do you call it? No, summer it is in football, isn't it?
I mean, they've got Tom de Koning in. They've got Wanganeen Miller lined up again.
I love watching that guy play footy. That game last year was astonishing.
It was incredible.
You know what my 9v10 game is? The showdown.
You've got the Crows and Port in 9th and 10th.
9th and 10th.
Well,
tantalising.
They wouldn't play each other then.
7th plays 10th and 8th plays. You can still do it.
I'm moving around so that it works.
Do we all think Brisbane then? Just to you said I've got Brisbane Gold Coast. I reckon it's an all.
You got Brisbane Gold Coast,
all Queensland grand final.
Yeah,
okay.
Did you copy mine?
Yeah, I did actually.
Well, because I know so much about footy now.
Who else? Who else is in your 10, Pembo?
Hawthorn, St Kilda, Collingwood, GWS, Sydney, Bulldogs. But I must admit, I looked at last year's top 8 to remind myself who's in form.
Pretty similar. I've got West Coast for the Spoon.
Yeah, I think they're unassailable as the Spoon favourite.
I had Richmond before last week, but after watching that game...
it was a hell of an impression they made.
They were just dreadful. Now, they'll have some good games. Rising Star, I've got Jagger Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else would have anyone else. And what about your Brownlow? Who did you go with there?
Oh, I think I might be captured by the moment. Nozai Wanganeen Miller.
Yeah.
I think if St Kilda make the top 10, I think he wins the Brownlow.
Yep. It's a fair call. Pembo?
Yeah, I'd go with him too.
I've got a race in 2. I've got either Isaac Heaney from Sydney or Zach Butters. I'll go with Butters.
For the Brownlow?
Yep. I just think
Zach Butters in a contract year. I tell you what, winning the Brownlow might add a couple of zeros to your contract.
So is this? Do you reckon this is definitely his last year at Port?
I'd say more than likely. Yeah. I think he loves the club, but I think there's a big pull to go home.
So where have you guys got Port?
I've got him 10th.
I've got him 11th.
Yeah, I've got him around about there. But I got the Crows around about there too. I just have this weird feeling about the Crows this year.
I'm not sold either.
Yeah, I had the Crows 7th. Even that I didn't feel great about.
Yeah.
Feels like a horrid start.
I don't think any of us have got West Coast, Richmond, North Melbourne, Essendon, Carlton.
No.
Horrible thing to say, but I think Michael Voss might be the biggest coach.
First to go?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, it's a good tip. Makes a lot of sense.
I just don't...
It doesn't engender confidence when you hear him talking.
I just can't see.
But what about that club? That club is just run by half-wits. Yeah. What about the Luke Sayers story? What about how his own wife is suing him for defamation?
I know.
It's the most extraordinary story.
It's
Been
amazing.
sued by your wife. I mean, now we should say estranged wife. But, geez, that's what you call, relationship difficulties.
It's not going well there, is it?
It's bizarre, isn't it? And
Should
Melbourne...
have put his camera away.
Yeah. And
or whoever took the photo.
And Melbourne got them missing.
Yes,
apparently
definitely.
Stephen King is doing great things, but I think it's a growth year for Melbourne, isn't it?
Completely. Feels like a long way back. Petrarca, Oliver gone.
GWS, did you have them in?
No.
No,
Too injured.
I didn't need it. Same. Pembo, did you have GWS in?
Oh, yeah.
You got him in? Okay. And St Kilda, that's fast. So top 4, you had him in there.
I haven't been in 10. Yep.
And I didn't have him at all.
But, yeah, what about the Q Cup Grand Final, though, this year?
Well...
Unless you're right, Tom, Sydney.
Yeah.
It's really going to be a big year for people who don't care about AFL, isn't it?
Gold Coast. Gold Coast are fascinating. They're a great list, but their pre-season's been underwhelming. But I don't think they're winning anything now, so I don't think they care too much. But they've got a good list.
I thought they were missing Gary Ablett Jr. the other day when I saw him.
Where's Carmichael Hunt these days? Now,
Jared Arbrow.
8223888. Listeners, we want you to be a part of this.
Yes.
What we want to do is what we're terming the pre-season optimism index. Tell us where your footy club will finish. We want one listener from every team to give us a number. Where do you think on the ladder, minus season, your team finishes?
I love it.
8223 0000. I wonder if we've got 18 different, all 18 clubs covered. Hopefully we do. Flick us through a text or call in on 8223 0000 and we'll get the optimism index, find out how everyone's feeling about their side on the eve of the season proper. Looking forward to chatting real footy with you, Rennie, as of... Well,
pretty much now.
Tomorrow
exactly.
morning.
We'll start tomorrow.
Preview.
Yeah.
What's the game tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Good on you, Reddy.
Thanks, boys. Good work.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 27 degrees. With the 6:30 news, good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
The US president insists America had to act when it did to launch strikes against Iran and has rejected suggestions Israel forced his hand.
I thought we were going to have a situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now.
The conflict is continuing to spread in the Middle East, with the IDF now stationing troops on the border of Lebanon. Donald Trump says the United States operation has decimated the capabilities of Tehran. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has spoken to the President of the United Arab Emirates about the conflict in the Middle East. Mr Albanese says he has emphasised calls for Iran to cease indiscriminate attacks against the UAE and other countries. He's thanked the UAE President for the care shown to Australians stranded by the conflict. The Prime Minister has discussed resuming commercial flights with the UAE President and New Zealand Prime Minister. Back home, police have arrested a man after locating him inside a vacant property at Glynde last night. Police responded to reports of the man entering an unoccupied house on Armand Avenue, finding the 31-year-old Campbelltown man inside the premises. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of being unlawfully on premises. He'll face court next month. Construction will begin today on the Riverlea Sports Ground. The site on Coriemba Avenue is billed as the largest community sporting facility in Adelaide's northwest. SA Lotto winners will be able to collect their cash digitally from today. Up to now, Lotto players had to physically present winning tickets to the lottery head office or an authorised place of business, or send their ticket by mail to the lottery agent. The changes only apply to winnings up to $100,000. Leading health organisations have joined together to launch new national telehealth standards aimed at strengthening quality, safety and trust in the rapidly growing sector. The new standards have been created in consultation with clinicians, digital health providers and policy experts, and draw on the experiences of more than 5,000 Australian patients. Digital Health Ambassador for Patients Australia, Richard Skimmon, says telehealth is becoming increasingly popular, but it's vital appropriate standards are in place.
Millions of Australians have used digital healthcare providers to request a script or a medical certificate over their mobile phone. These national telehealth standards are Australia's first sector-led standards to govern how those services are provided. They're designed to set a clear benchmark in terms of safety, quality and transparency, so Australians can trust the healthcare they're getting online.
And the last lunar eclipse for 3 years was watched last night by thousands of people across the state. Astrophysicist Brad Tucker says clear skies after weekend rains provided a good view of the moon entering the Earth's shadow, turning red.
When it was fully in the shadow, that's when you get that kind of red blood color. And that's actually caused by a little bit of sunlight skimming our own atmosphere and keep going out. And that's why some people got some very bright, vivid colors.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kate. We are a little more than 24 hours out from the start of the AFL season, which kicks off tomorrow night with a match between Sydney and Carlton. The Crows and Port won't play opening round with their round 1 matches on next week. Meantime, Matthias Filippo is wanting to have a bigger impact for the Saints this year, having managed just 7 games last year. The 21-year-old's looking forward to playing in front of a crowd of more than 80,000 people for the first time against Collingwood on Sunday.
It's hard to put into words just how excited, we are as a club, but again, you just got to stay focused on what's going to ultimately take us forward, and that's, good work ethic, You know, it's the simple things. It sounds boring, it sounds cliche, but it really is just your preparation.
EPL matches have kicked off for the morning. Everton has just taken a 1-0 lead against Burnley at home. Elsewhere, Leeds and Sunderland are locked at 0-0, while it's also goalless between Bournemouth and Brentford about half an hour in. Wolverhampton and Liverpool will kick off their match shortly. And American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson will race at the iconic stall Gift on Easter Monday. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks so much, Tom. Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 27 degrees. 26 the top and sunny for your Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27. And on Saturday too, a top of 28 degrees. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
Alpha means the beginning of something, like the first rain on your new Alpha Industries pergola, carport or veranda. Everything's dry, the table's set. No need to rush inside. Instead, light the pizza oven, pour a drink, and suddenly the rain becomes part of the moment. Alpha Industries creates beautifully built outdoor spaces designed to suit your home, so you can celebrate life undercover. Alpha Industries. Let's start something new. alphaindustries.com.au.
No more. Ugh. No more. Try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae is wellness backed by science. A clinical study on Arbor Vitae Joint Health can be viewed at arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Now stocked in all major chemists and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Do you ever get behind the wheel and feel annoyed or frustrated or angry? You might even wonder why people can't indicate, or maybe it'd just be nice to have a destination that you actually really want to get to.
It sounds like you might need a holiday to hit the road on a wide open highway, looking across boundless territory, or winding through world-class national parks and overflowing waterfalls.
I remember driving from Darwin to Jabiru in a hire car, just having so much fun.
Oh, we drove from Darwin to Catherine, and then did Litchfield and did the most famous one of all, the Kakadu on the other side as well. That was one of the great trips.
Yeah, the other thing in Darwin, you walk down to any street corner, there's a market selling laksa and hokkien mee, and like I felt like my head was going to explode with the food options. Anyway, this is an ad.
Yes.
Set up back to the script.
It's taking us
We're
back.
doing a better job than the script, frankly.
Yeah.
Set up Camp Hunter, 1 billion stars with no one else around. Test your rig on some of the best tracks in the country. If this sounds like you, your best bet is to head north where vast open roads let you leave the rage behind.
Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. Head to northernterritory.com to find out more.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie, family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
A Piermount Hotel is your place to raise a glass, enjoy a great meal and settle in. Download Piermount's First Draft loyalty app to unlock perks, rewards, cheeky offers and member benefits across all 7 Piermount hotels, including the Albion. Plus, your first draft is on us. Enjoy a $10 bonus just for signing up. One app, endless rewards for locals who love their local. Visit piermount.com.au to explore our hotels and download First Draft today.
Aussie kids are active kids, creative kids, sporty kids. Are you a Weet-Bix kid? The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 minutes to 7. Big morning ahead. If you want to be the official taste tester for the Democracy Sausage, but on barbecues right across the state on the 21st of March, you need to be in Hindmarsh Square this morning from 8:30, and it might be you that's making the ultimate determination.
We don't know what the flavours are yet, but our good mate Rob is trying to guess. He's come up with 3. There's the Ode to the Algal Bloom sausage, where the meat is wrapped in seaweed sheets for that umami taste.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's the ramping sausage, which is bog standard snag, but you have to wait 3 hours to get it. And then finally, there's the Liberal Leaders sausage. There's actually 6 types available, but they haven't decided which one they really want yet.
Magnificent
That's sort of
work,
the last
Rob.
4 years in sausage form.
That was terrific. Magnificent
That's
work.
the story of this term.
The good people, anyone who wants to come and taste, the good people in Najobi have prepared 3 delicious sausages, none of which have a political theme. So you can come down and enjoy. Now, what we started before the break was the pre-season optimism index for football fans. We wanted one fan from each of the 18 sides to tell us where they think their team's finishing this year. Let's go to Danny in Hallett Cove, who's a Pies fan. Where are Collingwood coming this year, Danny?
Oh, mate, always the optimist. I'm going to say we're going to make 3rd position this year.
3rd.
We're going to lead the MCG.
And you'll probably beat the Crows by less than a kick twice too, Danny.
Yeah, that was. I was at that game, and I'll tell you now, that was very much fun to go to.
I'm sure.
I'm sure they all were.
I'm glad it was for someone. Thank you for that, Danny.
You gave us the flogging. You gave us the flogging a few weeks before, so we got it on the chin.
I would have switched them around if I had my druthers. Thank you, Danny. Let's go to Elizabeth. Wendy, good morning.
Hi, good morning, boys. Look, I'm always optimistic. I'm hoping the bottom of the 10, so the 10, but I reckon we'll come 11th.
Who's your team, Wendy?
Oh, GWS.
How'd you end up barracking for GWS, Wendy?
Oh, look, lovey, I went to a gather round, and it was either them or the Gold Coast, and I figure Sydney's closer than going to Brisbane. So I went to them, and I've been with them 3 years now and really enjoy going to watch when I can.
You have got the
get over to Sydney.
Yeah, I've never been to that stadium. It's a good stadium, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is great. It's great. I went to one of the finals last year. Fantastic.
Easy to get a seat too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Pembo.
Hey, we didn't know you were a GWS fan, Wendy. This is excellent.
I love it. I love it. They're a young team, but we've lost 2 guns this year, and our next leader, Greenie's down. Our next leader. So I'm saying I'd love 10, but I reckon 11.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wendy, I reckon you have got the funniest song.
I think it's a great song. Good on you, Wendy.
It was written by the Cat Power people.
That's right. We don't need...
Hello.
We don't need to ask Quentin who he goes for. But just for maybe our new listeners who aren't aware that Quentin is South Australia's #1 Gold Coast Suns fan. Morning, Quentin.
Good morning. With all the Suns fans in South Australia, pretty surprised I was #1 on the list.
I think you're still the only one.
I know there's a few of us. We get together and hire out a telephone booth to get together. That's pretty cool. No, well, we're good. You wait. There'll be lots of us by the end of the year when we finish. Can't predict where we're going to finish, but I'd say top.
First?
I reckon. I reckon we'll make grand final. Or top. That'd be good.
David and I both had the Gold Coast Suns in our grand final for our pre-season prediction. So, Quentin, you can't be far off the mark, as parochial as you are about the Suns. Now, that's 3 of the 18 sides. We need 15 more. If you give us a sense of where you think your team is going to finish at the end of the year, and call in on 8223 0000. In the meantime, back to the biggest news that we have been monitoring and will continue to do so. Chris Reason coming up after 7 o'clock. War in the Middle East. One of the most extraordinary moments was shortly after the conflict broke out, the degree to which it instantly became a conflict that engulfed all nations in the Middle East. It wasn't just US, Israel and Iran. The Iran retaliation extended to Qatar, to the UAE, to Oman, and to Bahrain, which is where we find our next guest, an Australian radio host in Bahrain, Shannon Crockett. Shannon, good morning to you.
Good morning, boys. How you doing?
We're going all right, Shannon. Life's pretty cruisy here, but how are you going, more importantly?
Oh, it's been a bit of a roller coaster since Saturday. So it's been a little bit weird for us Aussies here in the kingdom. It all kind of kicked off on Saturday morning. I was actually live on my show, and I actually had to do the emergency broadcast. So having to tell people to go indoors. And when the first thing started to go off, the first explosion started to happen, I could actually feel the vibrations in the studio. So it was a bit of an eerie life-changing moment, you know, the reality of what was happening around us.
Wow.
So this is like in the same way, if we're broadcasting over summer and there's a bushfire, we start reading, you know, it's time to evacuate, you know, or it's watch and go.
100%.
Like, is that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so it was always letting everyone know every 20 minutes or so whether there was, so we had a bridge closed because we had something going on and there'd be something else happening. And it was also letting people know to keep certain lanes free so certain people could get to where they need to go to, especially for emergency services.
Unbelievable.
So after that initial volley of attacks, Shannon, has Bahrain been largely spared, or are you guys still going through it?
Funnily enough, about 10 minutes before we started, we actually had sirens. So we get the sirens that go across the kingdom. So what a lot of people don't understand is that the Kingdom of Bahrain is actually quite small. It's about 50 kilometers wide and about 80 kilometers long. So when you hear everything about Dubai, it's a big area, but Bahrain is very small. So we see, hear, and feel everything. So you'll get the notifications on your phone, and it could be all through the night. I'll get 3 or 4 messages on the phone. It'll be a vibration. It'll be an alarm, and it'll tell you just what the situation is. But it's the same alarm just to let you know if there's something small, something big, or just giving you the all clear and just letting you know what's happening.
So what's the feeling like right now in terms of what people expect to happen, Shannon? Does it feel like people are sort of hunkering down for a protracted period of instability? Is that what the expectation is? Or do you think that in terms of how the Gulf states and countries like Oman are being roped into it, do you think that everyone's going to try to do everything to make sure that doesn't keep escalating?
I think people look at it from different points of view. So you'll have people like myself. So I've got business, I've got life here. I've been here for 10 years. So I will only leave if it comes to the point where it's you either, a do or die situation. Some people will try to leave. So the only exit out of the kingdom is there's a bridge, the causeway that can take you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And then you've got the potential of trying to get a flight from there, or maybe even drive to Oman, try and get a flight out of Muscat. But it's unpredictable. A flight could be cancelled at the last minute, could be delayed. So right now the airport in Bahrain is closed as expected, and in the region, they're opening a little bit in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but it's still kind of hit and miss. Airlines are trying to do what they can to, get people out of the country, those that want to leave. But then there's a lot of people who have been here for many, many years, and they will wait it out and just kind of see what happens.
So, yeah, I was just looking at the map. I wasn't actually across the geography. So where you are, you're basically on an island, and it's a very small place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful little country. A lot of people aren't quite aware of where it is because it's the smallest country in the Middle East. So we're like the tennis net between Iran and Saudi Arabia. But, a population of 1 point. yeah. And so when you've got everything going on above you, it's like a tennis match, and we're just kind of in the middle of it.
Oh. What took you to Bahrain in the first place, Shannon?
I was actually before COVID. I actually was living in Abu Dhabi, and I had a different life. I had a different job. I was in import and distribution of alcohol. It's a controlled substance over here. So I was in that, and a company in Bahrain actually poached me from Abu Dhabi. Through COVID, everything did what it did to every country around the world. And on the other side of that, I started an events company and joined the national radio station. It was like everything just kind of fell into place, and Bahrain's been really good to me.
What sort of radio show do you do, mate? Is it news, current affairs, or is it more music and chat? What's the format?
It is kind of a current top 40 kind of format.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Going back a number of years ago, it used to be a little bit more community radio, but we've become an international station. So it's called Radio Bahrain, and we play top 40 tunes, and I host on weekends. I do a morning show on the weekends, usually from 10 o'clock in the morning.
So it's all in English?
And then Yes, it's the only English radio radio station in the kingdom, and it was actually one of the first in the Middle East.
So you're like the Casey Kasem of Bahrain.
Yeah, I've been called many names, but Casey Kasem is not one of them.
Well, mate, you stay safe there in as you say, the tennis net of the Middle East. It's a very evocative analogy. We appreciate you coming on, mate. Good on you.
No worries. Cheers, boys. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Shannon Crockett in Bahrain.
It's amazing.
His story's
I
an
didn't even
interesting
know
one.
what Bahrain looked like till I got it up on maps then.
We're all learning a lot more about the Gulf states at the moment.
Yeah.
9 minutes to 7. Let's head to the Weather Bureau back here in Adelaide. Ursula Connor joins us. Pretty lovely sort of weather on the way, Ursula.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a ridge of high pressure making its way into the Bight at the moment. So largely southerly flow across the Adelaide area for the next sort of week ahead. We've got, a bit of cloud pushing on shore about the hills at the moment. That should start to break up sort of through the day. And we'll see similar conditions really most mornings and through each day. These southerly winds do bring a little bit of cloud on shore at times. In terms of the temperatures today, currently 13 degrees in Adelaide. We're headed for a top of 27. Glenelg expecting 26. Elizabeth, Noarlunga also 26. Mount Barker 23 degrees today. And as I said, fairly similar conditions really for most of the week, all very settled. We'll gradually see these temperatures warming up a little bit. Lovely long weekend ahead, 28 on Saturday and Sunday, 30 on Monday.
Lovely for the long weekend. Good stuff, Ursula. Ursula Connor there from the Weather Bureau.
All right, let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad's on the line. Kimberly, a man's been arrested in a stolen car this morning.
Yeah, that's right. It was just after midnight, 12:15, patrols spotted a stolen Hyundai sedan on Henley Beach Road at Mile End. That car had been stolen from Melrose Park last week. Now, patrols attempted to stop the car after tracking it through to the northern suburbs, but the drivers refused. The car's tyres were spiked on Bolivar Road, but it did continue driving for quite some time, travelling back through to the city before eventually coming to a stop on Green Hill Road where the driver was arrested. So that driver, is a 35-year-old man from Adelaide. He's been charged with illegal use of motor vehicle, dangerous driving to escape police and extreme speed. So he's been refused bail. He'll be appearing in court today.
Good work there by SAPOL. Also, Kimberly, a person's been arrested for dangerous driving on a motorbike in Mount Lofty.
Yeah, so this was about 5 o'clock yesterday, so obviously lots of traffic around at that time of afternoon. We've spotted the blue motorbike. It had no rear number plate and it was speeding along Anzac Highway in Adelaide. It was again seen on Brighton Road not long after that. It wasn't pursued, but we brought in Polaire to commence tracking it as it headed back east along Crossroads. It was tracked again up the freeway and up until the point where it's pulled into the Mount Lofty Summit car park where that rider was arrested. So a 26-year-old man from Shido Park, he's been charged with riding at a dangerous speed, misuse of a motor vehicle and other traffic offences. So we impounded his bike and he's going to be appearing in court in April to face those matters.
Unbelievable. Do all that on a motorbike. Some people have got rocks in their head. Good on you, Kimberly. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad for SAPOL there.
All right, let's take some more calls from footy fans with our pre-season optimism index. We haven't had a Crows fan yet. Mark in Highbury, you speak for a state.
Yeah.
What is your optimism level? Where are the Crows coming this year?
I reckon they'll finish fourth.
Ooh, I take fourth at this point.
Totally.
Given the tough start and the injuries. All right, do we win a final, Mark?
Yeah.
All right.
We win a final.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Not a problem there.
Yeah. Mark,
I like Mark's
we need
laid-back
Mark.
approach.
Yeah, I like him being the state's spruiker. That was excellent. Let's go to Sally in Hillcrest. Sally, you're a North fan.
I am.
We didn't know that about you, Sally.
I love my Roo boys. I think we're going to finish 13th because this is not our season to be in the top 10, but next season is. They're getting better each year. They've done their rebuild, so next season will be our year to challenge in the top. This year, I think we'll finish just out.
If you caught North Melbourne at the right moment last year, and what you could see a 10-minute patch where you'd say, I can see the vision. There's just so much natural talent in those young guys that it'll come together at some point. I think, 13th, you'd take, most North fans would take that, I reckon.
Yeah.
A couple of wins, maybe spend a bit of the season maybe flirting with the idea of a top 10 finish. Sally, we learn something about you every day. Sally in Hillcrest, our North fan. So we are now needing about 13 fans of different clubs that we haven't heard from yet to round out our optimism index. 82230000 is the number.
We've had a few texts from fans of other clubs. Mark in Whyalla.
Well, maybe hold off on those because we'll let people call in.
Yeah, good plan. Of course.
The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is currently holding an impromptu press conference. The US consulate in Dubai has been struck by a drone. It came a little bit earlier. The news came out that the US was chartering private flights to try and get its people out, clearly aware that their consulates were targets in these countries.
They've already closed their embassy in Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
And they've closed their embassy in another country.
They sent an edict out to every US citizen in the area to get out, but there's no way of getting out. So now they're chartering some what will be, as I understand it, Air Force flights to try and get people out. But that's happening live. That's part of the unfolding situation in Iran, and we're going to be getting the latest from Chris Reason, and you'll hear from Marco Rubio on the other side of 5AA News.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Commercial Yard in Gawler, SA's biggest yard dedicated to certified low-kilometre used cars, utes, vans, 4x4s and, of course, the new Jack Ute. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth the trip to Steinborner Commercial Yard and Gawler Jack. View our whole range at steinborner.com.au.
If you're looking for custom-made lounge, dining, bedroom and cabinetry all made right here in SA, Nordic Design Furniture is the place. The designs and options are endless and fully customisable. Experience the quality and finish at Adelaide's only manufacturer's showroom. See how real furniture looks and feels. It's made right here by their artisans just for you. No longer Adelaide's best kept secret. Open 7 days at 43 McGill Road, Stepney. Nordic Design Furniture. Yes, it's a Nordic.
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes Ace.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices. Gotcha. A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
Your Royal Flying Doctor Service cannot do its life-saving work without your help. It relies on your donations to transform a plane into a flying intensive care unit.
And now your donations can have even bigger impact. Tomorrow, March the 5th, is officially Double Up for the Doc Day. It means every donation made on this day will be matched.
And of course, you can donate at any time, but if you donate tomorrow, your donation will be matched dollar for dollar thanks to some very generous partners.
So the target to reach on Double Up for the Doc Day is $300,000 to fit out a new aircraft with medical equipment. And with your help, it's totally doable.
Make double the difference on Double Up for the Doc Day tomorrow, March 5. For more information, visit flyingdoctor.com.au. That's flyingdoctor.com.au.
There's a state election on March 21. Most people focus on who wins government. That's the lower house. But the real power check is in the upper house. That's where laws are tested, where decisions are scrutinised, where governments can be stopped, challenged, or held to account. If one party controls everything, democracy gets lazy. That's why the upper house matters. I'm Tammy Franks, and democracy works best when government is held to account. Authorised by me, an independent. Tammy Franks, PO Box 21, Semaphore, SA 5019.
Star Discount Chemist's Big Brand Vitamin Sale is here. Big brand names at low prices, including Bioglan, Blackmores, Nature's Way and more. Go in store or online to shop. Always read the label and follow directions for use. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Informing Adelaide for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny today, 27 the top with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
FIVEAA Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
US President Donald Trump says the conflict in Iran could go on forever, declaring the US has unlimited firepower. Nine's Washington correspondent Lauren Tomasi.
US embassies in Lebanon, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia have all been shut as the US president signalled this conflict could rage on. Today, America confirming it will now organise military and charter flights in order to evacuate American citizens from the Middle East. Donald Trump has declared it was his opinion Iran was going to attack, and so America launched its bombing campaign. Today, a senior Trump official saying Iran was days or weeks away from a nuclear weapon.
The Israeli Prime Minister says his country and the US will continue to strike Iran with force as the conflict enters its fifth day. The IDF claims it has hit a building where Iranian officials were choosing the country's new leader. Tehran is retaliating, launching a new wave of missile and drone attacks at Israel. Middle East analyst Dr. Martin Keir says the war won't be over anytime soon.
Iran has to be seen, the regime has to be seen as striking back against its enemies. So as long as Israel and the United States continue to bomb targets in Iran, Iran will continue to strike back.
Meanwhile, the conflict in the Middle East could see Australian drivers charge more than $3 per litre for fuel. Economists say the price at the Bowser could increase by another $1 per litre if the Strait of Hormuz remain closed for 3 months. The government has written to the consumer watchdog urging it to monitor fuel costs and to be on alert for price gouging. SA's lotto laws have changed. From today, lotto winners will now be able to claim their prizes digitally after changes to lotto laws were passed by the state government. Previously, lotto players had to present physical winning tickets to the lottery head office or an authorised place of business or post their tickets to the lottery agent. The changes only apply to winnings up to $100,000. The Greens are promising a $700 million plan to return train services to Mount Barker, extending the passenger line from Belair with stops at Stirling, Aldgate, Bridgewater and Balhana. The plan includes 5 new trains running every 30 minutes at peak times, with the total journey to the city taking 70 minutes. It's currently 30 minutes in a car and 45 by bus. The Greens say both Labor and the Liberals have ruled out a passenger rail service past Belair. Researchers are trialling modern ways to recruit more women into construction. The industry is currently made up of just 15% women in the workforce in the state. In Queensland, Uni Professor Fiona Chong says there is no reason the industry shouldn't push for better equality.
Ignoring half of the population would be quite counterproductive, and there's no reason why we should not be looking at it as a whole, as the industry is suitable, and we should encourage both men and definitely more women to enter into the industry to provide the diversity perspective.
The federal government is considering a proposal to wind back tax breaks for high-end electric vehicles. It's put forward as Labor attempts to claw back $3 billion in deductions in the May budget. SMH The Age reports the government is also reviewing the zero tariff on imported EVs. And healthcare practitioners are debunking the myth rain can ease symptoms of hay fever. While spring and summer are thought of as the highest risk seasons, cooler, wet weather can present its own challenges for the condition. Dr. Ridian Harris says thunder-induced asthma becomes a concern this time of year.
Humid environments, grains and pollens can actually swell and burst and release a plume of pollens into the environment.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Kate. Adelaide's players will train this morning at West Lakes with defender Wayne Miller set to address the media. The Power will also train across at Alberton. The AFL season kicks off tomorrow night at the SCG with the Swans hosting Carlton. 4 of the 5 opening round matches will be played in New South Wales and Queensland. AFL Chief Executive Andrew Dillon has told Wide World of Sports the sport is making inroads in rugby league heartland.
We had average crowds at our Swans and Giants games in New South Wales of over 25,000, which is higher than any other sport in the country. So we are going well in New South Wales.
To cricket, and returning Test star Travis Head says he's happy to bat wherever suits the side as he returns to play Shield cricket for South Australia in tomorrow's clash against New South Wales at Karen Rolton Oval. SA must win to keep their finals hopes alive. Let's get to soccer, and China's Women's Asian Cup campaign is off to a good start following a 2-0 win against Bangladesh. Meantime, in the English Premier League, Everton's made a good start in its clash against Burnley with a goal just after the half-hour mark.
Garner swings that in, it's much better! And there's the moment! They finally get it right!
Audio thanks to Stan Sport. It's now 1-0 after half-time, while in other games it's 0-0 between Leeds and Sunderland. There's also no goals between Bournemouth and Brentford, while the match between Liverpool and Wolverhampton has just kicked off. It's also 0-0. Red Bull's Max Verstappen has vented his frustration and dislike of the new Formula One cars for this season. First practice for the new season is at Albert Park on Friday. And American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson will race at the iconic stall Gift on Easter Monday. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you so much, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd, March 20th at FIVEAA. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
At Melrose Park, a loose road plate causing delays. South Road near Raglan Avenue. Speeds reduced through there. Pretty busy due to lots of works there too. Semaphore Parks has activity to keep in mind this morning. Military Road near 5th Avenue is starting to get busy for those works at Dry Creek. Churchill Road near Dean Harvey Drive. Only on a camera to keep in mind. Stephen Terrace at Gilberton. The big one is back until March 31. Get an unbeatable finance offer across the MY25 X-Trail range. T's and C's apply. Hurry to your Nissan dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 27 degrees and the week is looking much the same. 26 the top and sunny for your Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27, and on Saturday too, 28 degrees the top. Right now it's 12 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 7, fun morning on 5AA. We're building up to 8:30 with the taste test of our democracy sausage on barbecues, March 21 on polling day right around the state. But what will the flavour be? Well, that's up to you. Folks, you can decide if you come down to Hindmarsh Square at 8:30 this morning and be our official taste tests. We have 3 prototypes thanks to our wonderful partners at Najobi, who are absolute experts. Their meat products are unbelievable. They've put together 3 crowd-pleasing sausages. You can pick one of the 3, and that will be the one that we ultimately go with for the democracy sausage.
I'm just trying to think, do we have any West Coast Eagles listeners? Because everybody's saying they're a lock to win the wooden spoon again. There's one I can think of. She's the alternative Premier of South Australia.
Exactly.
She wants to call in and give us her tip, explain why the West Coast Eagles will not win the wooden spoon. We'll put action on the
8223 0000. We're doing our pre-season optimism index. One listener from every club saying where they think their team will finish. Jodie's a Swans fan. Jodie, where are the Swans coming this year?
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Jodie.
I think we will come third this year.
Third,
I really do. I just saw some form at the end of the season last year because I wasn't well last year, so I got to watch it all year. And I just feel we may get there a little bit after our 2 big losses. We've got so many stars. And with just Charlie Curnow up there, it's just something for Gilder and Isaac to kick to.
He's a big addition and at full strength. If you avoid the injuries like last year, Jodie, I think you'll be right. Certainly around the top 4 come the business end of the season. We'll take some more of your calls shortly. 8223 0000 is in the number. But in the meantime, let's head back to the Middle East for the latest with Chris Reason from 7 News in Tel Aviv. Chris, again, great to chat with you. Thanks for your time.
G'day, Will. G'day, Dave. Good to talk to you.
So, Chris, what's the latest on the ground? We just heard before our 7 o'clock news here, Adelaide time, Marco Rubio talking about the drone attack on the US Embassy in Dubai. What else has been going on?
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, that's really talking to the fears that America has had about being targeted specifically in the blowback from the Iranian strikes. And this is what's happening now. You saw yesterday that Rubio put an order out through the State Department saying that every American in this region needed to head home now, which is extraordinary, unprecedented, and also impractical. There's no way of doing it because there's no flights. So it was a strange and bizarre order to be issuing to your citizens. But anyway, we're talking about tens of thousands, if not more, Americans in this area now being told to get out because of exactly that. The Iranians specifically targeting that embassy today, and that's just in recent hours. Yesterday they targeted the US embassy in Saudi Arabia, and now this one in Dubai. So look, it's going to be anxious times, and I sort of hate to say, but we're going to see this sort of specific retaliation against US assets, potentially the assets of US allies, and potentially the people behind those assets as well for some time to come.
Chris, what are you being told about Iran's capacity to launch missiles at those sorts of targets? Has it been degraded to a level that US and Israeli military commanders are satisfied? Do they feel they're making progress on that front?
They do, and Trump said yesterday that they thought they were ahead of schedule, quote unquote. But and there's no doubt that Iranian defences have been degraded in the last 4 days. They have been pummeled. There is nothing left of their navy. I think 11 ships sunk. Nothing left of their air force. Only a handful of. As the alarms are going, I was here in Tel Aviv. My phone is just being interrupted. You can probably hear it in the background. We're going to have to make a move, unfortunately.
No, that's fine, Chris.
I've got to go, guys.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Chris Reason for 7 News in Tel Aviv.
I'll tell you what, give me a nice bloody ugly Eastern Suburbs Liberal Party pre-selection brawl over that shit any day. I don't know how blokes work in situations like that.
He's literally putting his head out into a city that's being targeted regularly by ballistic missiles to talk to us back here in Australia and tell us what's going on. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. Isn't it nice? I mean,
there's
again,
nothing put on about it.
This all sounds so trite to say, but I don't think it's ever not worth reflecting on. We're the news breakfast program of this town. We come out at 7 o'clock talking about sausages and football.
Totally. And I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a pull over and give yourself an uppercut to anyone who goes, oh, why have we got a bloody election on? I'm sick of hearing about it, and I got to vote, and what a pain in the arse that is, and these damn politicians. Well, no one's firing shots at each other here. No one's, and don't take your right to vote for granted, because the poor bloody people of Iran for 5 decades have had to put up with this nut job theocracy running the joint, hanging gay people from cranes. Treating women the way they have, no opposition at all.
Well, you look,
we are so utterly complacent about the society that we are absolutely blessed to inhabit, aren't we?
Well, how many of our listeners will remember a pre-theocratic Iran, how progressive and advanced that Persia was? We're talking about Persia. That's on planet. It was always regarded as one of the more advanced and progressive and remarkable places on Earth. And then it became this horrific backward hellhole for the poor people that live there. But they and those families. That's why so many moved out here to Australia and places because our way of life has more in common with their old way of life than Iran has for the last 40 odd years.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about people like Oman, just come here, keep practicing their faith and do it in a way that completely gels with our way of life. Conversely, I'm struggling a bit with some of the sort of official mourning that is happening in some of the Shiite communities around Australia about this guy as if he's some sort of deity. Yeah. I mean, there's one mayor in Western Sydney who's come out and had a crack at Chris Minns saying, well, this is just like the Pope's died. We're allowed to mourn him. It's like, if you find yourself mourning this guy, you've probably picked the wrong country to live in, haven't you?
Well, he is celebrated by people like that for the very reasons we've just described him as a theocratic dictator that crushed people's freedoms and threw people off tall buildings. Because there are some people who think that's all right.
And this is where it's funny. It's a classic example of the enemy of my enemy is my friend in operation. When you think about, and I'd sort of put this in the sort of Writers' Week context, some of the people who sort of, you know, the pro-Palestinian Western people, I'm not talking about the Palestinians themselves, you know, poor wretched people that they are. And I say this, you know, thinking they do deserve their own bit of earth. They do deserve their own state. I support that. But at the same time, you know, Hamas, like the idea that you've got people in the West who put themselves down as, oh, you know, I'm progressive, I'm a feminist, I'm obviously in favour of gay rights and trans rights.
But also the Ayatollah.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
There are people that live in that.
Or they go dark on it. When you press them on it, it's a bit funny that Hamas has been funded by Iran. Does not compute.
All right. Well, we'll check back in with Chris Rees and make sure he's all right, who had to leave in the middle of that cross because, as we could hear in the background, the sirens were sounding and he had to get to cover.
We're lucky to have Chris on the show because he's there for 7 and he doesn't talk to other radio shows. We're just doing it because we get on well with the bloke and known him for a long time. But he's seriously a brave guy.
All right. Well, back to the fun of being in Adelaide, which is our footy pre-season optimism index. We're asking fans from each club to give us a number. That number is where you think your team will finish. Let's go to Tony in Two Wells. Tony, the Port Adelaide fans of South Australia are waiting on your declaration this morning. Where are the Power going to finish this year?
How you going, guys? Good morning. Well, you got to be a little bit cup half full, and I think everything from every team qualifies on injuries at the end of the day, and that could change 5 spots. But I think if you look at the draw, we've got like all the bottom sides twice. I can't see how we can't finish 7th or 8th, really. Like if you look at it, pulled apart, you got North Melbourne twice, West Coast twice, Richmond twice, Essendon once. Collingwood, we should beat one. Crows, we can take one. They can take one.
You'll be 4-0, 5-0 without a doubt, Tony. So there's going to be a good foundation.
Be 6-2, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, and you know how poor they play once their confidence is up.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know.
The reality of the injury point you make is a good one about Port too, because that top 4 or 5 players is as good a top 4 or 5 as you'll see in the competition. The question is, get a couple of injuries in the bottom end, the back end of that 22, I think, is a little more shaky, but we'll see how that progresses over the course of the season.
The thing too, the reverse of what Tony said applies to Adelaide, because we've got Collingwood, Bulldogs, Geelong, Freo.
All sides who would expect to be probably top 6 sides, top 7, top 6.
So, and if you go into that with injuries, and then you're suddenly 1 from 4 or none from 4, heaven forbid, then it becomes a psychological problem.
Yeah, it's a mountain to climb. Let's go to Gawler. Craig, good morning.
Will and Pembo, I'll just start with we do live in a bloody lucky country. So
well said.
I'm a Hawks man. Look, I think realistically we're about 6th. We're just strong at the back, kick goals, but our centre, we missed out on Zach. We're missing Day at the start, so our centre's going to hurt us a bit, I think. So those rotations in the guts aren't up to top 4 standard, I don't think.
Yeah, I think Will Day being there is sort of the tipping point for me, whether the Hawks can win the premiership or not. You just can't get his body right, but wonderful footballer. It's at 19 minutes after 7. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment.
Morning there. Roads are looking pretty good for the run in today. If we're about to grab the keys and head to work, we're accident breakdown free. That's always a pretty good start. Got a loose road plate to keep in mind at Melrose Park, South Road near Raglan Avenue. Lots of other works around there, so that is slow. Bit sluggish too for works at Semaphore Park, Military Road near 5th Avenue, and getting busy at the moment at Marion Road at Anzac Highway. Camera Stephen Terrace Gilberton. Sane has helped people navigate complex mental health for 40 years. If you or someone you care for needs free information, recovery support or community connection, visit sane.org today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
This is something that should concern all of us deeply. The world is on the brink of fuel starvation. It's unnerving to find out how little diesel and petrol that we have in reserve. Energy Minister Chris Bowen confirmed that Australia has just 34 days of diesel fuel in reserve.
Graham Goodings.
In such a volatile world as we live in today, isn't it time Australia looked to become more self-sufficient?
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
If you're thinking about adding a home battery, now's the time to act. Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. The government's Cheaper Home Batteries program is giving you around 30% off the cost of an eligible home battery. That's a considerable saving back in your pocket. But from April 30, discounts will be smaller. So the time to act is now. Get in touch with SA's trusted team at NRG Solar. Visit nrgsolar.com.au and take control of your energy bills. NRG Solar, leading solar in SA.
If you've been thinking about downsizing, but the idea of leaving your neighbourhood is the biggest sticking point, well, Metro Homes, one of Adelaide's leading builders, is a really smart solution. Instead of selling up and moving away, you can subdivide your block and build 2 new homes.
It means you get to move into a fresh, brand new home designed to suit your lifestyle now, and right next door, an investment property, or you can sell the other home.
That's rental income or place for family or long-term financial security. You're living in the same street, the same neighbourhood, the same coffee shop that you've been going to for years.
You'll enjoy more financial freedom and a home that fits the way you live today. Downsizing? Find out more by contacting Metro Homes on 8100 0999 or visit metrohomessa.com.au.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
From Cairns to Canberra, Perth to Port Macquarie, you can rely on Red Spot to provide the perfect ride for your next holiday. We're the only Aussie family-owned and operated car rental company in airport terminals and cities all over Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Some milk on our shelves travels further than you do on holiday. Not milk from Flurio Milk Company. Our milk is proudly homegrown, home bottled and delivered straight from the rolling paddocks of South Australia's Flurio Peninsula. Freshness isn't a buzzword for us. We live and breathe it 24 hours a day. When you buy from Flurio Milk Company, you're supporting our incredible farming families and doing SA proud. Look for Flurio Milk Company in your supermarket.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 after 7, we've still got a few teams we need for our 5AA Breakfast pre-season optimism index, 8223 0000. If you can nominate where you think your footy team will finish, we want one caller from all 18 clubs. I think we've got 10 outstanding teams that we haven't yet heard from. Let us know. Be the spokesperson for your supporter base, 8223 0000. Now, we're getting ever closer we're 10 days away from 5AA turning 50. 10 days away from 5AA broadcasting for 50 years in Adelaide and South Australia. And in the process, we're counting down some iconic moments, some good, some not so good.
5AA turns 50. A lot has happened in that time.
Adelaide Southern Expressway started out as a bold experiment.
For the last 15 years, we've been the butt of jokes.
A 20-kilometre freeway that went one way at a time. In the mornings, it flowed into the city. In the afternoons, it flipped and emptied everyone back south.
I can be taking an hour to get home from work just to go to the South Road Bank up.
Clever? Sure. A little crazy? Definitely.
These big red crosses will no longer be part of the daily commute.
As traffic grew, the one-way magic started to feel like a traffic puzzle. So in 2014, the road was finally duplicated, letting cars travel both directions anytime.
We've wasted a lot of my taxpaying money for something that should have been done years ago.
Today, the one-way Southern Expressway is remembered, but not missed.
Connected to our community for 50 years. 5AA, always Adelaide.
I wonder what the world's longest one-way freeways have been. Has anyone ever done it before?
Are there really?
That was going to be my next question. Has anyone even bothered?
Oh, there's that. The bridge over that huge lake in Louisiana. Oh no, that's double. That's a two-way road. Of course it is.
We thought
Pontchartrain.
We might use the opportunity to reflect on the worst ideas you've ever heard. 822 300 text us on 0480 1395. Southern Express. So, what are some of the other worst ideas you've ever heard?
Because it used
bonus
to run,
points if it's a South Australian.
I'm trying to remember what it did. So, wasn't it Monday to Friday? You could drive north on the Southern Expressway until 1 p.m. and then after 1 p.m. you could drive south. But then on Saturdays and Sundays it was switched around the other way. So you could drive north, south. You could drive south in the mornings on the weekends so people get down to Victor and stuff. It's amazing there was never a head-on collision.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, remember the big... I forgot about the big red crosses that would appear there. So you couldn't go that way, but they'd switch to the... 822 300 have we got any other really crazy bad ideas that we've had in South Australia or beyond? But South Australia, you get bonus points.
She's a lovely person, Diana Laidlaw. She was the Transport Minister in the Brown government, long-serving member of the upper house. But I do remember when she was the Transport Minister, she said, everybody, this Southern Expressway, this road that can change directions is going to be the talk of the nation and indeed the world.
Well,
she was right.
Dean in Craigmore. Dean, you must still be partying. You're a Lions man.
Mate, I tell you what, it's costing me a bloody fortune, all these premierships.
It's March. Has the AFL given you another All-Australian kid as an academy or a father-son or anything over summer that we should know about?
Oh, look, we've just got a couple just fumbling away in the back line there, No pressure. It's just, games of giggle, really, when it comes to September, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, it is for you guys. I guess you're saying first?
Well, there's no other way but up, is there?
Yeah. All right, good on you, Dean. I actually was looking at this when I was trying to pick... I wanted to be creative, and I thought, should I say Gold Coast to win the... Then I went back and had a look at Brisbane's side and how young and how good their group of stars are. I thought, no, this is just Brisbane it's going to be. Hey, we've just received a call from the leader of the Liberal Party here in South Australia, Ashton Hearn. Ashton, good morning to you. But you're calling not in your capacity as Liberal leader, but as our West Coast fan spokesperson. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, guys. I'm a West Coast supporter through and through. But look, anything's possible. Obviously, that's a motto that I'm holding very close to my heart during election time.
Oh, that is
and you never know. Like the West Coast, they're an energetic side. They've got a lot of young talent coming through. So I'd give them a chance to get into the top 8, and then anything can happen from there come final season.
Well, maybe the fact that you are leading a rebuild of your own at the moment in your other line of work, Ashton, can become a bit of a metaphor for your beloved footy club too.
Yeah, potentially. But no, you've got to give it a crack, and I'm sure that West Coast will this year.
Good on you, Ashton.
That was magnificent.
It was so good. We should have just put her on the line as Ashton from the Barossa.
Yeah.
We can't get Mally on. We've already had a port guy.
Exactly right.
He'll come on another time, I'm sure. That was excellent.
All right, let's go to Two Wells. Ange, we're talking crazy ideas following on from the Southern Expressway debacle. What's yours?
What about the millions of dollars? Remember that debacle?
Say again, Ange. You just dropped out.
Sorry, the retractable lights they put on Adelaide Oval.
That's a great nomination. Yeah. The retractable lights.
Well, that was to keep the Parklands fascist happy, wasn't it?
That's brilliant, Ange.
Someone almost got killed by them.
We're talking crazy ideas, a la the Southern Expressway, as we count down the 50 years of 5AA. But first, we're going to take a break. Oh, you want to read your text?
I just like this one. Flagstaff Hill, the road with 3 lanes and the middle lane changed direction during the day.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
right. The illuminated
It was utterly
sign.
ridiculous. Completely absurd. Thanks for that, Amy from Aberfoyle Park.
I was worried we wouldn't have enough crazy ideas to do this segment, but
we got a lot here.
Yeah, I think we're going to be all right.
Sharing in the moments that shaped our state.
South Australia have 8 seconds to hang on. Too late for the Blues.
As part of a bet with an Adelaide radio station, Whitten was forced to walk the length of the Rundle Mall in a South Australian jumper.
Have your fun now. Get over and done with. Oh, that was hard to put this jumper on. Still smells too of South Australia, you know. I think it's Chris McDermott's jumper.
Celebrating 50 years. 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 27 for Adelaide. With the 7:30 news, good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
US Embassy staff are safe following an Iranian drone strike on the embassy building in Dubai. The US State Department has ordered the evacuation of non-emergency personnel and family in a number of Mideast countries. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says America will be unrelenting in keeping the world safe.
Let me explain to you guys this in simple English, okay? Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism that the world will not be able to touch them for fear of those things. And this is the weakest they've ever been. Now is the time to go after them. The president made the decision to go after them, take away their missiles, take away their navy, take away their drones, take away their ability to make those things so that they can never have a nuclear weapon.
A defence task force is working on contingency plans to potentially repatriate Australians stranded in the Middle East. More than 115,000 remain stranded in the region as the conflict enters its 5th day. A commercial flight has been scheduled out of Dubai and onto Sydney for some time this morning. Senior Minister Mark Butler has told Today commercial airlines remain the best option to leave the region.
The scale of Aussies caught in the region, but the Americans are saying the same about their people, really mean that the practical way to get people moving again is going to be through commercial flights, and that requires airspace to be reopened in what is a really dangerous situation.
Back home, a 26-year-old motorcyclist will face court next month after allegedly riding dangerously and at speed through peak hour traffic yesterday afternoon. The bike with no rear number plate was reported to police as speeding west along Anzac Highway and south on Brighton Road before Polair started following it heading east on Crossroads. Patrols swooped as the rider pulled into the Mount Lofty Summit car park. The Shardo Park man is charged with riding at a dangerous speed, misuse of a motor vehicle and other traffic offences, and his bike has been impounded. A 35-year-old man will face court today after leading police on a chase to the northern suburbs and back to the south again. Patrols spotted the allegedly stolen Hyundai at Mile End at 12:15 this morning, but the driver refused to stop, heading out to Burton, where the tyres were spiked at Bolivar. But Senior Constable Kimberly Broad says that didn't stop the driver.
Travelling back through to the city before eventually coming to a stop on Green Hill Road where the driver was arrested. So that driver is a 35-year-old man from Adelaide. He's been charged with illegal use of motor vehicle, dangerous driving to escape police and extreme speed. So he's been refused bail.
The ACTU wants minimum annual leave lifted from 4 weeks to 5. Gabrielle Hodson has more.
The Australian Council of Trade Unions wants full-time workers to get, at the very least, 25 days annual leave and for shift workers, 30. The Financial Review says the 4-week standard hasn't changed in half a century. It's part of a parliamentary inquiry into national employment standards and could be controversial as the economy faces a productivity slump. The ACTU says time off needs to increase to counter rising work pressures and, in many industries, long hours of unpaid work to keep ahead.
And South Australians were treated to a spectacular blood moon last night. The last total lunar eclipse to be seen from Earth for the next 3 years was visible throughout the Americas, Asia and Australia. Locally, the eclipse started around 20 past 8 and was visible till almost midnight. The astronomical event happens when the Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, turning the moon a blood red colour. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Kate. Adelaide's players will train this morning at Westlakes, and they'll be keeping a close eye on a few injured players like James Peatling, Mitch Hinge and Isaac Rankin, who are all recovering from injury. Meantime, Port Adelaide youngster Ewan McKinlay says he's loving life at Alberton. The 22-year-old was picked up in last year's mid-season draft and has told Rowie and Timmy G it's been great to get a full pre-season under his belt.
Obviously my first pre-season at AFL level. I've been pretty happy with it. I've felt pretty strong. I've done every session, so I think, got what I wanted to out of it.
The Power will take on North Melbourne in round 1 next weekend. Meantime, John Newcombe has been cleared by the tribunal to lead Hawthorn against the Giants after a dangerous tackle was downgraded. That match will be played in round 0 this Saturday. Well, Oscar Piastri admits there's a lot of unknowns heading into this year's Formula One season. The cars are smaller, power units are now 50-50 split between fuel and electricity, and more complex aerodynamic laws. The Australian telling Nine's Today Show it's hard to get a read on the team to beat.
We don't really know where anyone sits. I think 12 months ago we had a pretty good idea. The rules were staying the same. We had a pretty clear picture from testing. This year, the picture's changed a lot through testing, and at certain points we've looked average. At some points we've looked really good. So the answer is we're probably somewhere in the middle.
To soccer now, and China has beaten Bangladesh 2-0 to start its Women's Asian Cup campaign. Meantime, in the men's EPL, Sunderland has just scored from the penalty spot to take a 1-0 lead against Leeds.
Habib Jura, and it's just about goes in. Well, Carl Darvo got plenty behind that, but he couldn't keep it out.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. Everton leads Burnley 2-0 while it's still 0-0 between Wolverhampton and Liverpool. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Morning there at Newton. Got a smash to look out for Montague Road near St Bernard's Road. Got some pretty solid delays through there. Loose road plate getting sorted at the moment at Melrose Park, South Road near Raglan Avenue. Other works there, so she's pretty slow and getting a little busy at Dry Creek for those works too. Churchill Road North near Dean Harvey Drive. Camera this morning, Nottage Terrace, Medinty. Harris Scarf Autumn Sale is on now. Save 40% off full price quilt cover sets and sheets. Exclusions apply. See conditions online. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 27 degrees. 26 the top and sunny for your Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27. And on Saturday too, a top of 28 degrees. Right now it's 13 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Are you recovering from injury or managing joint or muscle pain? Kiesa Physiotherapy, Rehabilitation and Strength Training programs are your first step to moving with confidence. Discover the Kiesa difference at our National Open Day, next Saturday, March 14 from 8 to 3. Learn how strength can support your long-term health. Try Kiesa's exclusive Swiss-engineered machines and even test your strength. With 33 clinics nationwide, it's easy to get started at Kiesa. Find a Kiesa near you at kieser.com.au.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Now, does this sound familiar? Yeah, mate, I'll be there Tuesday morning. Well, which Tuesday? This week, next year, when the moon is full and Mercury's in retrograde? time works differently in tradie land, but Precise, well, they run on your time.
Precise will do the job right the first time. No wormholes, no time machines, just a tradie showing up when they say they will. Even though summer has finished, there's still some warm weather around. Call Precise now and get $500 off new ducted cooling installations.
Time to escape the tradie twilight zone and get a tradie who will turn up and do the job right. Call Precise 1300 700 200 or visit preciseservices.com.au, celebrating 25 years.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tyres. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tyres and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttyres.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing, free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villies. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
The Adelaide Showground Farmers Market has a producer's guarantee. Everything is produced by the people selling it, so it's all local. It means you know who distilled your gin, who baked your bread, whose chooks laid your eggs, and who picked your veggies. It means less food miles, reducing your carbon footprint, and your food is tastier, fresher, and often lasts longer. Join as a member at the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market to save 10% on everything all year long. Visit us every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 12:30.
Oh, geez, it's hot in here. Can someone pass the Morford air? Oh, that's better.
When the temperature is too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air, Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company. Morford Air has kept South Australians perfectly comfortable for over 50 years. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, you can always reach for the Morford Air. Look for the bright blue building at 602 Marion Road or visit morfordair.com.au.
Morford. The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
18 minutes to 8. We're going to go around the courts with Sean Fuster in just a moment. Now, I've just had a look at the tail of the tape on our pre-season optimism index for football fans. We need one fan from Geelong, St Kilda, Carlton, Richmond, Freo, Essendon, Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs to call in. One, if you're a fan of any of those clubs, call in and give us a tip of where you think your side is going to finish. 8223 is the number. West Coast just got ticked off by the Liberal leader Ashton Hearn before the break, which was very funny. All right, 8223 the number. Let's go around the courts.
It's time to go around the courts with Sean Fuster on 5AA Breakfast.
He's the best to do it. Chief Court Reporter at The Advertiser, host of Just Lawful. And Sean, often when we talk to you, it's about things that are off in the future or often entirely in the past. Well, there's a very contemporary story that we'd love to get your insight on, and one that we inadvertently got caught up in yesterday when we were told by the SAPOL that there was someone had been killed and would be charged with murder. Well, over the course of yesterday, we discovered that, in fact, there would be no murder charge. Good morning to you. What happened?
Good morning, Will. Yeah, this was the case that had everybody focused yesterday, the incident in Mount Barker where a man in his late 30s died. As you said, South Australia Police arrested another man who was found a short distance away, the allegation at the time being that he'd actually left the scene, and he was arrested. And as you say, all of the announcements came out. The man is expected to be charged with murder and will appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court later today. As time rolls on, that time for appearing in court got pushed out a little further and a little further. And the Adelaide Magistrates Court actually has a rule that if a court file hasn't been lodged by police between 3 or even 3:30 p.m, if they're stretching it, the matter has to be held to the next day. So we were getting toward the 3:30 mark. The magistrate in court, Mr. Roderick Jensen, was actually actively asking prosecutors, what's going on with this matter? Are we going to see it come through today? and the prosecutor said simply, Your Honour, there's been a change. When the file hit the court a few minutes later, Gerald Thomas Ware was no longer charged with murder. He was charged with 2 counts of assault, one of them aggravated. And the reason for that being, the prosecution said, there was no causal link between his alleged actions and the death of the man, Mr. Corey Morrison, which was extremely unusual given the circumstances.
So, Sean, he had a heart attack. So his cause of death was a heart attack. But so
That's right. That's what was said in court. Mr. Morrison had a heart attack sometime after Mr. Ware had allegedly punched him during what sounds like a bit of an alcohol-induced family dispute. According to the prosecution, Mr. Ware was there looking after his kids. There's a familial relationship between his former partner and Mr. Morrison's current partner. Mr. Morrison's current partner is Mr. Ware's former partner's mother, if you can follow sort of the ex-father-in-law, if you will. Everyone had stayed on for a barbecue and a drink afterwards. According to the police, something had happened. A bit of a fracas had broken out. Mr. Ware had allegedly punched Mr. Morrison and then grabbed a kitchen knife and cut the hand of Mr. Morrison's brother. But after Mr. Morrison went to hospital having collapsed from the punch, he died in hospital as a result of the heart attack. And what the post-mortem examination said was there was no link between the punch and the heart attack, which means the chain, if you will, that you need to make an allegation of murder simply wasn't there.
That's interesting because some people might look at it and go, well, hang on a minute, like the stress of being in a fight, seeing another family member or whatever, I'm not even going to try to work out who's who and what's what and this familial setup, but couldn't you argue the stress might have contributed to his heart attack?
So for murder, you have to be able to prove that the person who committed number one, that the person committed a knowingly unlawful act, which in this case would be the punch. Number two, you have to be able to say that the person throwing that punch either intended to kill, intended to cause grievous bodily harm, or was recklessly indifferent as to whether or not grievous bodily harm was caused. So it comes down to things like, okay, you throw a punch. We're going to take it out of this particular circumstance for a minute and talk generally about throwing a punch because we know about coward punches, king hits, street fights, things like that. If you throw a punch at somebody while they're standing on concrete, you are at law deemed to be knowledgeable of the idea that if someone falls over on concrete, it's likely they're going to hit their head and suffer a really serious injury. But if you're on grass, if you're on thick carpet, if you're not in a circumstance where that person could reasonably expect it to do themselves further harm by virtue of impacting with the ground, are you recklessly indifferent? Is that an argument that you can take to trial? Is that an argument that a jury is going to believe? It seems that in this case, the prosecution or the police have looked at the circumstances surrounding this alleged punch and say, well, it's an assault, clearly, because it's one man connecting with another with a fist deliberately, but the consequences of it can't be drawn out enough to say we could sustain a murder charge here or even a manslaughter charge, which was what a lot of people were saying to me after the events of yesterday.
Sean, just before we let you go, James Vlasakis, his case will be before court again today. He's bid for parole. Where's that at, and what are we expecting to learn today, if anything?
So, Will, it's not quite his case. It's the fight about his case. The ongoing stoush between the parole board and the SA government as to whether or not you're allowed to overturn a grant of parole. It'll be before the Court of Appeal President, Mr. Mark Livesey, today, likely to set a time for when that argument will be, sometime before August 5, everybody's hoping, because, of course, Vlasakis is by law entitled to apply for parole again on August 5 every 12 months for the rest of his life.
Have you heard around the trap, Sean, that there is a degree of surprise in both legal and policing circles that the government successfully prevented Vlasakis from winning that parole bid last year, and that they think that this is almost going to be a formality that he will be granted parole?
I haven't heard that per se. I know that there are differing opinions on this. What I'm hearing is there's a question about how much utility there is in everybody pushing this so far because the law says you can apply for parole every 12 months anyway. Vlasakis getting out is an inevitability. South Australia being the only place in the world to parole a serial killer is an inevitability. There is no way that that can be stopped without some major legal change. And there's high court law that says you can't make changes to law simply to stop one person doing something.
Yeah.
A case called Cable. So there would be some very large national level problems for anyone that tried to do that. So the point of continuing to push this out, it just makes you wonder, why are we looking to avoid certain times, certain dates, certain major events, or are we looking to perhaps get some polls out of the way before things like this happen? You could speculate in all sorts of directions.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Sean. Sean Fuster, the Chief Court Reporter for The Advertiser. Thanks, mate.
All right, let's get a couple of footy teams on the Optimism Index, starting with Don in the Adelaide Hills, who's a Saints man. Good morning to you, Don.
Morning, fellas. How are we?
More optimism around the Saints this pre-season than I think there's been in a long, long time. Where do you think your team's going to finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as a long suffering Saints fan, it's looking okay. You'd have to think they're 4 or 5 wins better side this year than what they were last.
Yeah.
So that puts them in the top 8. So about 8, maybe.
I like that, Don. It's about right, Adam. Yep. I reckon they're definitely playing finals this year. You might even have a Brownlow medalist running around there with Wanganeen Miller. Let's go to Netley. And Chris, you're a Cats fan, opposite end of the enjoying success in recent decades spectrum. Good morning.
Good morning, boys. Yes, born and bred Cat boy, Woodville, West Torrens boy, and I'm going to go for third.
Third for the Cats. Who are we to tell you wrong, Chris? That's generally what happens.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Right.
Everyone's been predicting that Geelong are too old bastard for forever. Never happens. Good on you, Chris. Thank you. We're going to check traffic, and we're going to come back with Koshy in just a moment. Lots to talk about. Eve of the footy season. What are the flow-on effects of what's happening in the Middle East for everything from petrol prices to food prices
to his own family,
your super, and indeed Koshy's own family? We can get into all that next.
Morning there at Elizabeth Island. Breakdown to look out for Main North Road near Hogarth Road. Crash at Newson to keep in mind. Got delays there too. Montague Road near St Bernard's Road. And they're still sorting out that loose road plate at Melrose Park. South Road near Raglan Avenue. Pretty slow through there at the moment. Early morning cameras, Main South Road, Hackham and Wakefield Road in the Parklands. Get a triple points boost on every shop in-store or online at Woolworths. Just boost the offer in the Everyday Rewards app. Ends March 13. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety,
get a Toyota forklift.
Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. We've been helping Adelaide buyers and sellers for over 40 years. That's why so many South Australians look to us for real estate advice. Right now, in our Toop Vault, we're working with 8,794 buyers in Norwood, 7,809 in Rose Park and 7,751 in Toorak Gardens, all searching for their perfect property in these specific locations. If you're thinking of selling, visit toop.com.au.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job, completewindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
When you're gone, who gets the things that matter most? Like the family business that must go on to support the next generation and the one after that. If you don't plan now, it could get messy. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
You might have heard Dave and Will talking about Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Matt runs the depot and he's big on helping people out. If you need to move things or people, Matt has it covered. From single and dual cab utes, 4x4s and tray tops, to small and large vans and 12 to 22 seat buses for short or long-term hire. Ask for Matt's Mates rates. Visit avis.com.au or call 8241 5200. 8241 5200.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
And they could never tear us apart.
David Kosh on 5AA Breakfast.
Port Adelaide Football Club Chairman and Compare the Market Economic Director David Kosh. Looking forward to chatting with Koshy this morning about some of the second-order effects of the war in the Middle East and how they might affect South Australians and Australians. Things like petrol prices and food prices, things like superannuation, inflation, interest rates and so forth. But for Koshy, in your case, there's a pretty dramatic first-order effect for you and your family. You've got a child in Dubai, mate. How are you getting on? How are they getting on, more importantly?
Daughter and 4-year-old granddaughter living in Dubai at the moment. Due out this weekend, I don't think. Here in Sydney.
Kosh, I think your line's just not... it's not holding together there, Koshy. You might just give Koshy a call back.
Let's do that.
Maybe read a couple of texts and we'll give Koshy a call back. In fact, let's take some calls for our optimism index. We'll get back to Koshy shortly because his phone was just wasn't holding up there. Aaron in Paracombe, you're a Dockers man, Aaron.
Good morning. Yes, that's true.
You must be feeling pretty confident about the way your guys are going. They look good on Saturday, Aaron.
They did. This is our 32nd year in the competition, so I'm pretty optimistic this year. I reckon top 8. As you know, last year got booted out by that one kick.
Yeah.
But I think with the inclusion of Mason Cox, we've got the Darcy factor we need to worry about. What's going to happen with him? Whether we need him, I don't know. But look, I'm pretty optimistic. I think they played well against West Coast in that first preseason game, but then. After seeing West Coast last week, I'm like, pretty happy about that.
Well, good luck for the season, mate.
Yeah. So where are you coming, Aaron?
I reckon top 8.
All right, top 8. All right, Aaron, thank you. I think we've got Koshy back now on a decent line. Koshy, sorry about that, mate. You were just telling us about your daughter and granddaughter were due to come back.
Yeah. They live over there, just coming back to visit their... Sam's got 2 older kids who are boarding here in Sydney, so come back mid-term. But, we've been following it like everyone else. Florrie, who's 4, just thinks it's a whole heap of thunderstorms as they hear the booms overhead from the missiles being intercepted, being told to stay indoors to avoid any debris from the missiles. That's the big thing over there because they're getting most of the drones and the missiles. But, it's a bit of a worry, although the UAE authorities currently have been really good. So which I didn't realise, the scariest thing is they can hack into your phone and at 12:30 in the morning, a fire alarm screech comes through your phone and an announcement from the government. So that's
that's
the
amazing.
Scariest thing that's happened to them in the local language and also in English to say whether another attack is coming.
Have you had a chance to go over there and visit them yourself, Dave?
Yeah, we were there just in January, and it's incredible. A lot of Australians. We were sitting at this. It's called the Byron Bay Beach Club. Would you believe on the beautiful sands of Dubai, just heavenly, and you look out across the water, and I remember thinking, just Iran over there, 20 or 30 k's. It's an unsettling neighbourhood to be in, but there's this oasis called Dubai, which has an incredible lifestyle, incredibly expensive as well. I'm glad we got family to stay with there, but it's just a beautiful place.
Koshy, markets reacting perhaps belatedly to the conflict. Europe down 3% in that composite index. The US bobbled around a bit, but actually ended up only down a smidge. Oil continues to rise, albeit it's not skyrocketing, but it's gone up another 4%. It's about $75 a barrel at the moment. What are you watching most closely? What do you think will be the first thing that affects Australians that we start to see?
Definitely the oil price will be, and Michelle Bullock, the head of the Reserve Bank, even was saying that yesterday. The reaction of oil prices through the Bowser, how that feeds into inflation. If the Straits of Hormuz is closed, that's an enormous percentage of the world's oil supply coming through there. And that feeds into everything, petrochemicals to some clothing, synthetics. It's amazing what oil is the base of. So that's a worry for her, particularly when we don't have inflation particularly under control at the moment, and with an interest rate rising cycle, whether that will accentuate it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dave, we really hope you get to see your daughter soon enough. A lot of people in the same boat there, and I'm sure everything will sort itself out. But yeah, bit of an anxious time. David Koch, Port Adelaide Football Club Chairman and Compare the Market Economic Director.
All right, it's 5AA news time. We are 30 minutes away from the official taste test of the Democracy Sausage. But for that to happen, we need you, our listeners, in Hindmarsh Square. 8:30 this morning, Sam Dado will be down there with 3 prototypes, thanks to our great friends at Najobi. And you will be deciding the flavour of sausage on barbecues on polling day, March 21. So no, don't worry about calling in. Come in to Hindmarsh Square. What are we in the southwest corner?
Southeastern corner. Sorry, southwestern corner
of Hindmarsh Square, and come and be our official taste tester and determine what the flavour of the Democracy Sausage will be.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Connected to our community for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 27. With the 8 o'clock news, good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
The US president insists America had to act when it did to launch strikes against Iran and has rejected suggestions Israel forced his hand.
I thought we were going to have a situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now.
The conflict is continuing to spread in the Middle East, with the IDF now stationing troops on the border of Lebanon. Donald Trump says the United States operation has decimated the capabilities of Tehran. Meantime, a commercial flight has been scheduled out of Dubai for some time this morning, which will make its way to Sydney. At least 24,000 Australians are in the United Arab Emirates, of 115,000 in the broader Middle East. The federal government is urging those in the region to keep an eye on a special information portal. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has told the ABC commercial flights provide the best way out of the conflict zone.
There is a flight scheduled from Dubai to Sydney. Obviously, we would say to people on the ground, you need to ensure you stay in contact with your airline in relation to that flight if you are on it. Flights have been cancelled and changed at short notice.
The conflict in the Middle East could see Australian drivers charge more than $3 per litre for fuel. Economists say the price at the Bowser could increase by another $1 per litre if the Strait of Hormuz remained closed for 3 months. The government has written to the consumer watchdog urging it to monitor fuel costs and to be on alert for price gouging. And Australians in Dubai are being warned to stay off social media or face fines of $80,000 and possible jail time. The public prosecutor says it's an effort to minimise disinformation. Back home, a retired tracker is urging police to again search the Yunta property where Gus Lamont disappeared after heavy rains of the last week. Aboriginal man Aaron Stewart, who worked as a police tracker for 19 years, has told the Advertiser the rains are a new opportunity for police. He says they should follow the direction of flowing water in case anything used in committing an offence, along with clothing or human remains, could be uncovered. A 26-year-old man is facing a range of traffic offences after he was seen driving dangerously along Anzac Highway and Brighton Road in peak hour traffic yesterday afternoon. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad says the rider was allegedly speeding and weaving between cars.
It wasn't pursued, but we brought in Polair to commence tracking it as it headed back east along Crossroads. It was tracked again up the freeway and up until the point where it's pulled into the Mount Lofty Summit car park where that rider was arrested.
A woman was reported for drink driving after being caught more than 7 times over the limit at Hillcrest last night. Police on North East Road noticed a Kia sedan driving erratically at 9:15. Police stopped the car and breath tested the driver, where the 37-year-old allegedly produced a blood alcohol reading of 0.358. She'll face court for drink driving, has lost her licence for 12 months and her car has been impounded. And SA Lotto winners will be able to collect their cash digitally from today. Up till now, Lotto players had to physically present winning tickets to the lottery head office or an authorised place of business or send their ticket by mail to the lottery agent. The changes only apply to winnings up to $100,000. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kate. Adelaide and Port Adelaide's players will both hit the training track this morning as they prepare for their round 1 matches next week. Meantime, Craig Drummond's appointment as AFL chairman will be ratified when the commission meets today. The season launch also taking place in Sydney for a 3rd consecutive year. Well, South Australia's cricketers will train today ahead of tomorrow's must-win Shield clash against New South Wales. SA must win to stay in touch with the top 2 and hopefully play in another Shield final. They'll welcome back Test star Travis Head for that match. It's full time in 3 English Premier League games this morning. Everton taking another 3 points at home, courtesy of a 2-0 win against Burnley. The Toffees with the sealer right on the hour mark.
Here's Njai, slipping it for Dewsbury Hall to apply the perfect finish.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. Elsewhere, Sunderland had its first away win since October, beating Leeds 1-0 while Bournemouth and Brentford shared the points in a 0-0 draw. And there's about half hour to play between Wolverhampton and Liverpool. It's still 0-0. And last night, China beat Bangladesh 2-0 in the Women's Asian Cup. And the Stall Gift has pulled off a massive signing for Easter Monday's famed handicap sprint. American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson, who is one of the fastest women in history, will compete. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks so much, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at Thebby. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Smash hit nuisance to look out for this morning. Montague Road near St Bernard's Road. Still got some pretty solid delays through there. Breakdown Elizabeth causing a few headaches this morning. Main North Road near Hogarth Road. And still got delays at Melrose Park with that loose road plate today. It's on Raglan Avenue at South Road causing delays. Mostly on Raglan Avenue, she's slow. Early morning camera today to Catterville Terrace at Kent Town. Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra at Telstra and get $700 off on a payment plan. Ends March 10. Eligibility criteria apply. Visit Telstra.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Sunny days ahead. We're heading for a top of 27 in Adelaide today. 26 the top and sunny for Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27, and on Saturday too, a top of 28 degrees. Right now it's 14 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Hi, Daniel Talia here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. If you've received a letter from us in your mailbox, don't throw it away. You may be throwing away a golden opportunity to sell your home at market value. With zero effort, advertising fees or commissions, you'll save thousands of dollars. If you've received a letter from us, it means we're serious about buying your home. For more info, visit home.com.au. That's haume.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
50 scorching summers. 50 freezing winters. And only one Morford Air helped us through it all. Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company, Morford Air, has kept South Australians cool and warm for over 50 years. That's half a century of comfort. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air. Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes are definitely in the spirit of giving with the Mitsubishi Outlander ES. Drive away for just $39,990. Plus it comes with a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing. Agostino Mitsubishi, famous for great service, great trade-ins and great range. And if they say they're going to do something, they'll do it. Get into Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for Mitsubishi Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
It's been a busy 4 years for the Liberals. They picked a new leader, but it didn't end well. Remember that cocaine photo? Then came Tarzia. His deputy quit, then weeks before the election, he quit too. So what's that? 4 leaders in 4 years? That's not even the worst of it. They say they're tough on crime, but since you last voted, a former state Liberal has been convicted of serious drug offences, another charged with domestic violence, and one even jailed for theft. All that in just 4 years. Imagine 4 more. Authorised A. Burke, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Kangaroo Island. It's best enjoyed exploring stunning beaches, secluded and at one with nature, reconnecting and spending quality time together. Fall in love with the great outdoors, unpretentious, unexpected, untamed. Experience Kangaroo Island unfiltered. Book your self-drive getaway now at sealink.com.au.
What do elbows, knees, fists, head clashes and boots have in common? Well, they can all knock your teeth out. But not if you have a Pearl mouthguard. It can even be made in the colours of your team. Plus, your Pearl mouthguard can also be fully claimed on your private health cover, which your dentist can help with. Play it safe. Ask your dentist about a Pearl mouthguard. Search Pearl Dental SA for more.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 minutes after 8, coming up in just over 20 minutes' time, we will be deciding the flavour of the democracy sausage, thanks to Najobi. And when I say we, I mean the royal we. We, the 5AA audience. If you turn up, it could be you, in fact, just the individual you. If you turn up at Hindmarsh Square at 8:30 this morning, where in what is probably considered by today's sensitive standards an act worthy of an HR investigation, we've sent down the only vegetarian on the floor to cook up the sausages, all beef sausages as I understand it. Poor old Sam Dado, who we love, is going to head down there and cook up the sausages for you to taste test. And it will be the people who turn up at 8:30 in Hindmarsh Square, the southwest corner, that will determine the flavour of the democracy sausage for election day. Najobi have put together 3 crowd pleasers. They're all going to be good. We just need to know which is the best.
I just saw them. They look terrific, but I don't know what the flavours are.
Well, this will be
revealed.
This is it. We don't want to,
it's up to you, folks.
Pollute the democratic process.
The future of the sausage is in your hands.
Exactly right. 8:30, come to Hindmarsh Square. Now, the other thing we need, as we have compiled over the course of the morning, a pretty comprehensive optimism index on the eve for the footy season. We've got 4 teams remaining for where we need someone to call in and tell us where you think your team's going to finish. The Bombers, Essendon. I understand why it's hard to get an Essendon fan at the moment. They don't even want to think about it. They haven't made finals since the internet was invented, I think. In fact, no, they had that season in 2000. Now, Melbourne, where's Yuri?
Yeah, Yuri.
Yuri. This was made for Yuri. Come on, Yuri. Or another Melbourne fan.
Where's Sam Kelton, the founder of the excellent Lola Pizza Bar on Goodwood Road? He's a massive Bombers fan.
The Bulldogs.
Oh, he's a Saints fan.
Or Carlton. They're the 4 sides outstanding that we need. Your
Richmond?
Optimism. Have we had Richmond?
No, we haven't had Richmond either.
Okay, 8223 0000 is the number. Get calling. And in the meantime, we're going to go breaking at 8.
Well, the pedophile and former magistrate Peter Liddy was jailed back in 2001 for 25 years. It was a huge sentence and a valid one, given his appalling history of sexual abuse of children between 1983 and 1986. A lot of it happened when he was working at a surf life-saving club. Now, he received an 18-year non-parole period for his crimes. When his parole came up, he made applications to the parole board to be released, and at the time, the former government stepped in and opposed that. Well, it's going to be a different situation this year because the argument around the parole period is now over because, quite simply, his sentence expires. His sentence finishes this year. Well, on the face of it, you would think that is going to result in his freedom. The state government has a different view. They hope that is not going to be the case. And we've heard that they are going to be announcing today that they're going to step in to see if they can keep this monster off our streets. Kaya Ma is the Deputy Premier and, in this context, more importantly, the Attorney General. Mr. Ma, thank you for joining us. What can the government do? Is there any way, given that his sentence expires, that you can step in and say that he's still an unfit person to re-enter society?
Absolutely. Good morning, guys. And absolutely, there are a couple of things we can do. And I've lodged 2 applications with the Supreme Court. The first is for an indefinite detention order. And this allows for an order to be made if we can satisfy the court that an individual's unwilling or unable to control their sexual instincts, in which case you get an indefinite term. So that means you are locked up beyond your normal sentence. The other thing we've lodged is for an extended supervision order so that if he does get out, there are very strict conditions placed on him that all aimed at community safety. And look, as you've said, these were horrific crimes. A vile monster used his position in a surf life-saving club and as a very respected member of the community, a serving magistrate at the time, to commit the most horrific crimes against kids. So we are going to do absolutely everything we can to keep the community as safe as possible and make these applications to have him stay in jail longer.
So, Attorney, when you talk about getting an indefinite detention order, are there certain sort of criteria that somebody has to meet or rather fail to meet to qualify for that? Is it things like lack of remorse, not taking part in rehab programs, that sort of stuff?
They could be part of the application, and certainly from the reports that we've received, Peter Liddy's shown no remorse at all for the vile act that he committed against innocent kids. What it requires under Section 57 of the Sentencing Act is for 2 reports from medical practitioners to be submitted to the court, and it'll basically be the court deciding on the basis of the medical evidence whether Peter Liddy's capable of controlling and is willing to control his sexual instincts. So that's what we'll be putting forward to the court. We will get those reports and then make the argument.
Are there many people who are in this cohort? Like, are there others who've been stamped, unfit ever to be released?
Yeah, good question. Not many. It is quite a big thing, Dave, to have someone commit a crime, get handed down a sentence, complete that sentence, but then be kept in jail longer. So there are a handful of others who we've had successful applications for this indefinite detention. But we changed the law during this term of Parliament so that if you're a serious child sex offender, the second time you get jail, it's automatically assumed you're unable to control your sexual instincts. So you automatically get that indefinite detention. and then the onus is on you to prove that you're willing to control it. So the new laws reverse it for repeat serious child sex offenders, but for Peter Liddy, we'll be putting the argument to the court that he should remain in jail if that's what the medical evidence shows.
And last question on this, attorney. So is it the Crown Solicitor's Office that comes up with the proposal, and then who makes the decision as to whether you can do this or not?
Yeah, so as Attorney General, I make the application. The lawyers from the Crown Solicitor's Office are the ones who legally represent the state in court, and then it's up to the Supreme Court to look at the evidence that's put forward, look at those medical reports, and the Supreme Court make that decision. And I think that's, as your listeners would expect it to be, that there's that independent judicial umpire deciding on these things.
Before we let you go, Kai Ma, you're a Tigers man. We still haven't had a Richmond supporter provide their tip yet. So can we put you on the spot? Everyone's writing the Tigers off. You're going to finish bottom four, or can you drag yourselves up?
Oh no, look, I'm really, really confident though that we'll fit. Like we'll be aiming for top 16. There's no worries about that. And I'm optimistic we can regain the spot that I remember us holding for most of my adult life, shooting for ninth.
You've done that before? Yeah. Absolutely, many times. A lot. Good on you, Kai Ma. Thank you for joining us for Breaking at 8.
Ninth is finals this year. So don't disparage ninth.
Lola Pizzeria founder Sam Kelton texted in saying the Saints will go marching in 5th place, but he thinks Essendon will bomb to 15th. But I was wrong. He's not an Essendon supporter. He's a Saints supporter.
He's a Saints supporter.
We still need a Bombers supporter. We've got a Carlton fan.
We've got a Carlton fan. Aspro from Mount Barker. Aspro, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
Good, mate.
Where are the Blues coming this year?
Well, today I'm optimistic that if we can't finish top 10, we're in more pain. But tomorrow my misery starts, and I think we'll finish 11th.
11th. Oh, dear. The first to finish 11th and just missed the finals. Aspro, thank you. So we still are on the lookout for... So we've got a Richmond and Carlton ticked off. We need a Bombers fan, a Bulldogs fan. That's it. Just two.
Oh, and Melbourne. Where's Yuri? Where's Yuri?
Yuri?
We don't have Yuri's number. We should ring him ourselves.
Cometh Yuri. He's probably very busy. Usually,
he's doing the deliveries.
Even if usually if the thought of the word Melbourne appears in your head, Yuri, by some sort of telekinesis, will usually just call in.
That's right.
All right, it's 21 minutes after 8. Let's check traffic.
Smashing Newton getting cleared at the moment. Montague Road near St Bernard's Road. Melrose Park got delays there. That's due to a loose road place. South Road near Raglan Avenue got speeds reduced and super sluggish, and starting to build for those who works at West Lakes Boulevard near Bashir Drive. Camera today, Stephen Terrace Gilberton. Harris Scarf Autumn Sale is on now. Save 60% off full price cook sets by Swiss Diamond. Exclusions apply. See conditions online. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Our number one draft pick in the off-season, it is Eddie Maguire. We're looking forward to it, Eddie, each and every week on a Tuesday.
As more and more big events come to Australia, Adelaide's doing so well now with the MotoGP next year, Live Golf and Gather Round. You see how it changes your city.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
It was just absolutely fantastic.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
When you're gone, who gets the things you've worked hard all your life for? Like the family farm, the holiday home, or your cherished trailer sailor. If you don't plan now, it could be messy when you're gone. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square Adelaide and Ocean Street Victor Harbour.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth the trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including SA's best range of certified used vehicles, from passenger cars to SUVs and commercial vehicles, plus a huge range of ex-factory demo Ford, Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Mazda, along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff. You know it's well worth the trip to Steinborner Automotive. View our whole range at steinborner.com.au.
Are you fed up with tense muscles, stress and muscle cramps keeping you up at night? Introducing Caruso's Mega Magnesium Complex. Caruso's Mega Magnesium Complex contains 7 forms of magnesium, including magnesium glycinate and bisglycinate for superior absorption. It relieves muscle cramps when dietary intake is inadequate, supports muscle relaxation and healthy stress response in the body. So if you're looking forward to cramp-free nights, try Caruso's Mega Magnesium Complex today. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Tiles and grout, they're an open invitation for mould. You can scrub and seal it, but it'll be back. Installing Mr. Wet Wall is a smarter option, and you can lay it over existing tiles. Mr. Wet Wall beats the look and maintenance of tiles hands down. No grout, no mould, and completely waterproof. Mr. Wet Wall takes half the time to install. It means your costs are kept down. So why wouldn't you, Mr. Wet Wall? Take a look at MrWetWall.com.
This Mad March, Adelaide comes together for one massive celebration. Racing, fashion, music and performers collide at Mad March's main event, the Sportsbet Adelaide Cup. From champagne pours and front row views to Club Largo, CC Giddy Up Club and Family Zone fun. Kids under 17 free. Trackside after racing, Shannon Knoll and the Jungle Giants DJ set. General admission from $35. Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, Monday, March 9 at Morfettville.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
26 minutes after 8, we're just a couple of teams away from completing our optimism index on the eve of the football season beginning proper. We're asking one fan from each club to tell us where their team will finish. Andrew in Dudley Park is a Bombers man. Andrew, dare we ask, are you playing finals this year, Andrew?
I'd be very surprised. Optimism isn't a word we're using at the moment.
It's so sad, mate. You think back to the 2000s and, you know, that team when you had Hurd, like, it was just such a brilliant period under Sheedy.
Yeah, I actually thought when they got Brad Scott in, things would pick up, but, you know, he'd done so well with North, with, you'd have to say, an average sort of team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, very disappointed. I'd be very surprised if we're not in the bottom 4.
Yeah. Well, good luck, mate.
What if you had to give us a number, Andrew, what would it be?
Sorry?
If you had to give us a number, what would it be?
16.
16th. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Crocky, that is bleak. All right. Here's some good news. Yuri and Beaumont. Yuri, good morning.
David, yay!
That's what we
I tell
wanted.
you what, boys, one thing with the riffraff's gone with this coach, I'm pretty excited. I'm getting goosebumps talking. I tell you what, my team are refocused, mate. That Windsor coming through the midfield, everybody seems very, very determined. This little Pickett from Glenelg, it's like the hot knife through butter. No one can catch him, mate. I tell you, they are refocused. Go the D's, position 8, away we go.
Yes, Yuri.
Excellent.
Crikey, you
Yuri.
almost have me convinced.
Yeah.
Yuri.
8. He said 8.
8 for the
What's
D's.
happened with Petrarca?
He's playing for the Gold Coast.
See, he left, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep. Clayton Oliver at GWS. It's a whole new Melbourne. Max Gawn, not convinced he can still play with the new rules. That's Max Gawn's view.
How do you reckon Clayton Oliver's going to go living in Sydney? That den of iniquity. I so speak from some experience myself. That's what Granny Fitz used to go, den of iniquity.
Den of iniquity?
A den of iniquity. My grandmother, she was a salvo as well. She had strong moral views. Bloody dump of a place.
All right, it's 28 after 8. Clearly she didn't have a chat with Clary before he went over there.
The thing about being an AFL player in Sydney is you could walk the length of Oxford Street off your chops, and no one would have the faintest idea who you are.
That would appeal to some.
Because you don't play for the Eels or the Sharkies or the Balmain Tigers. Hey, what about Kyle Sandilands? The collective IQ of Australia's radio listeners has soared in the last 24 hours with that knuckle-dragging, misogynist moron getting the chop from Kiss.
All right, fanboy.
I can't stand that bloke. Dead set. What he said about one of our female reporters when I was at news.com, I had that reporter's dad on the phone. He said, I'll hunt you down, girl. I will hunt you down. This is around the same time that they had a girl who'd been sexually assaulted on a lie detector on the program. Like, that show is an affront to our collective intelligence as a nation and a people. And I just think
and it wins.
$50 million he was getting paid. It's galling, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a toss really about who rates and who doesn't. And sometimes you go well, sometimes you don't. But I'll never forget because this is a proud industry with good traditions, and it's great that radio has endured through the digital era and it's holding its head up high. But being at that ACRA Awards night where he was inducted for a Lifetime Achievement Award in radio, and I was sitting there at Darling Harbour thinking, I've left my wife and kids at home to fly here in this room full of fawning cretins, deifying this Wally. And I went outside to have a smoke, and I was talking with this ad rep who worked at that radio station who said, you know what my job is? I shuffle the ads around and I take out all the ads for like West Farmers and stuff who don't want to be associated with their show because it's so morally bankrupt. This is my
I know you're a pro-Sydney guy. You could frame this as, is this the biggest win Melbourne's had over Sydney in quite some time? Because the death of that show was the 10-year, $100 million contract with a view to networking around the country. It ended up being broadcast into Melbourne first as the test market and continually rated last. Yeah. Melburnians went, we don't want this in our town. And I reckon he said 1,000 more controversial or offensive things over the course of the journey. Raise an eyebrow of mine that this rather tame exchange is the end of the program and not an opportunity that perhaps a company saw to get out from under a bad deal that didn't work. Yeah. Because Melburnians said, like Gandalf, you shall not pass, and we don't have networked Kyle and Jackie O around the country because of it. Yeah. They need a win, the Victorians, at the moment. I think they might have had one.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 27 degrees. With the 8:30 news, good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
The X in Physio Extra stands for extra time, extra care, extra convenience to treat those niggling injuries. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
A flight carrying Australian citizens out of the United Arab Emirates and back to Sydney has just left Dubai Airport. Michael Packy has more.
It's 2 a.m. in Dubai, where hundreds of Australians have boarded Emirates flight EK414. They're the first group to leave behind a conflict zone as Iran continues retaliatory strikes against Gulf states after the US and Israel killed the country's leader on Saturday. 115,000 Australians are stranded in various parts of the Middle East, 24,000 in the UAE. Foreign Minister Penny Wong says she's working to get people out.
We are looking at all contingencies.
The opposition's Ted O'Brien argues the government isn't doing enough and should be working with European countries who are chartering aircraft.
The Australian government has been found flat-footed.
The flight from Dubai is due to land in Sydney later tonight.
The United States consulate in Dubai has been hit by a suspected Iranian drone. Washington has confirmed no one was injured in the blast. It comes as Iran elected the late Ayatollah's son as its new supreme leader. Israel's military claims it has destroyed what it calls Iran's secret nuclear headquarters. 7 News correspondent Chris Reasons says that we're likely to see more.
We're going to see this sort of specific retaliation against US assets, potentially the assets of US allies and potentially the people behind those assets as well for some time to come.
Back home, despite the major parties knocking it out, the Greens are pushing ahead with plans for a train through the hills, winding its way to Mount Barker. They're promising a $700 million spend and 5 new trains to create a 30-minute peak-hour train service between the city and the booming hills town. The Greens say Mount Barker's population will increase from 25,000 to 56,000 in the next 30 years. The party estimates the train trip will be 70 minutes, more than double the current journey in a car. The state government plans to try to keep convicted pedophile and former magistrate Peter Liddy behind bars. Liddy will have completed his 18-year sentence this year after the former volunteer lifesaver abused children in his care. Attorney General Kaya Maas says they'll do what they can to keep a vile monster behind bars.
I've lodged 2 applications with the Supreme Court. The first is for an indefinite detention order, and this allows for an order to be made if we can satisfy the court that an individual is unwilling or unable to control their sexual instinct, in which case you get an indefinite term. So that means you are locked up beyond your normal sentence. The other thing we've lodged is for an extended supervision order so that if he does get out, there are very strict conditions placed on him that all aimed at community safety.
The opposition says surgeries have still not returned in full at 2 southern hospitals. The power was knocked out in a lightning strike at Flinders on Saturday, and while generators kicked in, a power surge knocked out the cooling system in operating theatres. Shadow Health Minister Heidi Giramo says an unrelated maintenance issue with an air conditioning at Noarlunga Hospital has forced the closure of those operating theatres.
There's serious concerns about why maintenance issues were not addressed back in October when they were raised by the Auditor General. The Minister continues to be silent, and we have 2 hospitals that are unable to operate elective surgery at the moment, and Flinders Hospital is only 2 out of 12 theatres are currently operating 4 days later after a lightning strike.
Hundreds of thousands of people around South Australia enjoyed the sight of a lunar eclipse last night. The moon turned red for an hour as it sailed through the Earth's shadow. Astrophysicist Brad Tucker says the next one will be even more special.
I never get them in series of every 6 months for a few years. So we did have one about 6 months ago on a Sunday. It wasn't great for anyone. It was in the middle of the night. And then you usually have to wait a couple of years, and then there's another set of a few that happen every 6 months. The next one for us in Australia won't be until New Year's Eve into New Year's Day 2028 into 2029, which will be cool for its own reason, right?
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Hello, Tom Wren.
And hello to you as well, Kate. We are little more than 24 hours out from the start of the AFL season, which kicks off tomorrow night with a match between Sydney and Carlton. The Crows and Port won't play in opening round, with their round matches coming next week. Well, the Matildas are hailing the courage of Iran's women ahead of their Asian Cup clash on Thursday. The countries will face off on the Gold Coast tomorrow night amid the ongoing turmoil in Iran. Matildas forward Amy Sayer has praised her opponents but says Australia won't hold back.
But I think we're excited and looking forward to the game on Thursday. The best we can do to contribute is to just give them the best game of football that we're able to, show them the respect on the field.
And there was one game last night with defending champions China, 2-0 winners against Bangladesh. Meantime, in the English Premier League, Liverpool has just levelled up its clash against Wolverhampton at 1 goal each. Mo Salah pouncing on a defensive mistake to score a much-needed goal for his team.
Mo Salah, Liverpool level, and Mo Salah's drought is over. The longest of his Premier League career. His first goal in the league since November the 1st.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. It remains 1-1 with only a few minutes to play in stoppage time. Earlier, Sunderland took care of Leeds 1-0. Everton had a 2-0 win at home against Burnley, while Bournemouth and Brentford shared the points in a 0-0 draw. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Just Floyd, celebrating 60 years of Pink Floyd. March 20th at FIVEAA. Tickets at ticketmaster.com.au.
Morning there at Seacliff, broken down car, Brighton Road near Maitland Terrace. Really big delays inbound halfway up Cement Hill at the moment. Newton, a crash to look out for Montague Road near St Bernard's Road, and Melrose Park. Still got that loose road plate causing headaches. South Road near Raglan Avenue, also slowing up Raglan Avenue as well. Getting busy, Marion Road, Marion, with the camera Stephen Terrace Gilberton. Need car insurance? Get $50 off Amy Comprehensive Car Insurance when you get a quote and buy online. T's and C's apply. Lucky you with Amy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 27 degrees. 26 the top and sunny for your Thursday. Sunny again on Friday, 27. And on Saturday too, a top of 28 degrees. Right now it's 15 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The King Living Anniversary Sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed, award-winning furniture. Come home to the future of furniture. Come home to King. Sale ends soon. Shop online or visit a King Living showroom today.
Not every conversation stays with you. This one will. Join Stephen Bartlett as he asks the questions and nothing is left unsaid. Search The Diary of a CEO wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you know that someone in Australia has a stroke every 11 minutes? That's why CMAX Clinical Research is conducting a clinical trial and needs your help. If you're aged 18 to 65 and generally healthy, you might be eligible to trial a potential treatment that could help those who have experienced a stroke. Spend 3 nights at CMAX in Adelaide CBD, attend 1 follow-up visit and get paid for your time. Interested? Apply today at cmax.com.au.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing, free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villies. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
If you play any kind of sport, a Pearl mouthguard is a must. Pearl mouthguards are used by elite athletes in every code of sport right across Australia because they offer superior protection, fit and comfort. Plus, you can get your Pearl mouthguard made in your team's colours and you may be able to claim it on your health insurance. Play it safe. Ask your dentist about a Pearl mouthguard. Search Pearl Dental SA for more.
If you're outgrowing your home, it could be time to select a granny flat. At Selector Homes, we've been building transportable granny flats for over 25 years. And now we can build them on a slab, which means your whole home and new granny flat are on the same level. No stairs and seamless living. Also, we can build to the perimeter of your block, saving you space. Fixed price, no hidden costs. Walk through the Haven Granny Flat at the Selector Homes Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton.
Stop buying junk Snap-on products from hardware shops. Real professionals treat their lawn with a multi-step process, not a bottle of whatever's on special. Lawn Hub's Lawn Care Essentials Pack is pro-grade lawn care in home-friendly sizes. 5 treatments, an application calendar, all delivered to your door. Transform your lawn from zero to hero in 4 easy steps. Order in March and you're in the draw to win an Allet cylinder mower valued at nearly $5,000. Lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
Breaking up is never easy. And when a relationship does end, there's so much to work through. What happens with the house, the car, the kids, your future? It's hard to know where to start. And that's where Anderson's solicitors will help. In just 90 minutes, Anderson's will create your personalised family roadmap, explaining your options and outlining a clear plan for the next steps, and all for a set fee. Anderson's solicitors. Help when you need it.
There's a place in Adelaide many people don't know about, and it's extraordinary. Fermoy House at David Roche Gallery is home to over 3,000 exquisite works of art from Europe's finest 18th and 19th century makers. From gilded furniture and porcelain to sculpture and rare decorative art, every room of Fermoy House tells a fascinating story. Located in North Adelaide and open to everyone to enjoy. Discover one of South Australia's hidden treasures. Find out more at rochegallery.com.au.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
The election is March 21. It will be the day that the democracy sausage will be on barbecues right around the state. And there is no greater expression of your democratic right and, frankly, your democratic obligation than to have come to Hindmarsh Square this morning to be the official taste tester of the Democracy Sausage. Thanks to Najobi. From their award-winning farm to your table, Najobi delivers premium fresh beef and lamb ethically, locally, effortlessly. Najobi.com.au. And we can cross down to Sam Daddo, who is the master of the barbecue at the moment, cooking up the 3 different prototypes from Najobi for our official taste testers. Sam, good morning to you.
Morning, David. Morning, Will. Yes, we know the Democracy Sausage is back with full fanfare. Some might say, David, that the federal election effort that you put forward wasn't the greatest. There was some feedback that thought it could have been improved. So we've given it over to the team at Najobi, and they've given us 3 different flavours to taste. Vegemite and cheese, Najobi bit-long spices, rosemary and mint. And if you can see down here in Hindmarsh Square, if you look on the live stream, democracy at play, people. We've got 5 taste testers down here. We're going to determine once and for all the best sausage to have on your Democracy Sausage Day on March the 21st. We'll have a definitive answer in about 5 or 10 minutes, so we'll be back to you then.
All right, we're looking forward to that.
Cheese and Vegemite.
Facebook and YouTube live stream, they all look a little bit nervous, don't they? Yeah. There's a lot of weight. There's a lot of weight on this.
Sam bagging my sausage.
Well, I think Sam set the stakes because
he's a vegetarian. What would he know?
Because he's labelled you with the failure of Democracy Sausage 1.0, and you don't want to be saddled with that kind of burden. The taste testers out there this morning.
I want to have my sausage impugned on live radio. Unbelievable.
I think it was fine. It was a little bit gourmet for some tastes.
Bit too fancy.
On election day.
It was big. It was a big taste.
It was a lot.
Rosemary, garlic, red wine.
It really needed a big full-bodied Shiraz to be served alongside it, which is how I think you had it in the tasting notes.
Some 18% monster from the Barossa Valley.
Scott Endersby, Najobi. We love partnering with Najobi. These guys are just absolutely the experts. And these 3 sausages that these guys have come up with are all crowd pleasers, aren't they, Scott? If you had to guess, Scott, which of the 3 do you think our taste testers will ultimately go with? Because you sell these ones all the time.
Oh, g'day, boys. Well, I'm secretly hoping the Vegemite and cheese, because when we do taste testing on these on Australia Day, everyone goes, "No, I'm not interested in that. That sounds disgusting." And then we do a taste test, and we generally sell out. So
really,
yeah, it's the umami flavour from the Vegemite. You actually don't taste the Vegemite. It's just the umami flavour that comes through that gives it a nice, interesting flavour, because we don't use a lot.
Who in the office came up with that flavour, Scott? How'd that come about?
It's just actually, I don't know. I reckon it might have been my old man, actually. He might have actually, he hates Vegemite, but I think he might have suggested it, or it might have been my mum. One of them too. It was one of them that actually suggested it.
Well, it's such a natural match. I mean, perfect on bit of taste. And as you say, a lot of people put Vegemite into casseroles and stews. Some people even put it into like ragouts and stuff to give it a bit of, as you say, a bit of umami undertone.
Yeah, it's surprising how it doesn't come through. Like a lot of people, it's divisive on the toast and stuff. But when you actually put it into cooking, it actually just gives a depth of flavour that you don't expect. But then the biltong spice. I mean, we're SA's #1 jerky company now, and we're and that biltong spice sausage is pretty good too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like them all.
And then the third one, Scott, is rosemary and mint. And is that a lamb sausage?
Yeah, that's a lamb sausage, and that's just a tried and trusted. We've gone with sort of like one extreme that might be pulverising, Vegemite and cheese, and a good different sort of base flavour in the middle with the biltong spice, and then just a tried and tested flavour, so that we get a winner out of the 3 of them.
They do sound. I mean, to Sam's point, where he was dissing the federal election one that we did, they do all sound a little bit less robust than the one we came up with last year for the May election. I would admit, because that was full on.
The federal election one, that was just done on. It wasn't. The flavours are right. It's just hard getting the balance right in such a short period of time. And I think we went heavy on the garlic one day, then we went heavy on the wine. It just takes a little bit to get the balance right. But I think it actually has a lot of merit, that flavour. So,
yeah, it was all part of the fun too. Like sausage making, such an excellent process, isn't it? Like there's so many directions you can go in. It's very very entertaining thing to make.
Yeah, it's actually quite therapeutic, if that sounds silly or not, but sometimes it is.
Can you tie them off, mate? I tried to learn watching YouTube videos, ended up looking like some sort of hapless gymnast with a ribbon. I could not do it, but can you do it?
Yeah, I can do it, but not as good as the boys. But these days, we're a bit lazy, so we've got machines to time off now. But it's sort of one of those things you never forget how to change a tyre, and you never forget how to tie a snag. So,
yeah. All righty. Well, mate, thanks for partnering up with us again. We love Najobi, and we love the fact that you've become the bringers of culinary joy every election time here through the 5AA Brekkie Show.
Yeah, well, it's just great. The community, people get to do a fundraiser, and we can give back that way. I think it's good. Yeah.
Totally, 100%. Good on you, Scott. Scott Endersby, the head honcho at Najobi.
All right. Well, I'm just getting word. I think we might have a verdict. Do we have a verdict? Let's head back down to Hindmarsh Square, where I think our taste testers will. Sam, can we go one by one and get their preferred sausage?
We will do, Will. It's a glorious morning. Democracy here is at play for the Democracy Sausage ahead of the 2026 state election on the 21st of March. Who cares about the actual poll? We all want to know what sausage we'll be eating on that faithful day. Firstly, Ralph, what are your views on the sausages?
I reckon it sounds unpatriotic, but the Vegemite came third. I reckon number one by a streak was the rosemary and mint.
All right, one vote for rosemary and mint, guys. Jason, what's your view?
The rosemary and mint for me, mate. The herbs and spices was a close second, but yeah, definitely rosemary and mint for me.
Another one for rosemary and mint. Tim, your views?
Definitely my favourite was the Vegemite.
Oh, a bit of an outlier so far. What do you like about the Vegemite, Tim?
Well, I like sausages. I like Vegemite, so, I like the Vegemite sausage.
That's pretty simple. Pretty simple there, Tim. Greg, your views?
I reckon nothing beats an Aussie barbecue more than a lamb, rosemary and mint sausage.
Another one for the rosemary and mint. And lastly, Addy, what's your view?
I feel like the flavours are all there, but the rosemary definitely came through for me.
Well, there you go, guys. It's pretty convincing. If you look on the live stream, look at the plate here. The poor rosemary and mint's absolutely been demolished. We had the Vegemite and cheese, we've had the biltong spices from Najobi, and the rosemary and mint is a clear winner. So on election day, the 21st of March, thanks to Najobi, you'll be enjoying the rosemary and mint democracy sausage. Oh, thanks to Najobi. Well done.
Good on you, Dan.
That was excellent. I tell you what, I don't know if that's portends anything, or maybe it'll be the Conservatives' only win on the day, but the old-fashioned rosemary and mint.
Traditional values.
Traditional values.
Yes. I was hoping to go to preferences. We're going to have to get this flow chart.
It was like One Nation. It was optional preferential
First past
voting.
the post. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that was. We only had one that gave their preference. So
yeah,
rosemary and mint.
I want to. Hopefully, they're going to bring that tray up here, and we can have a bit of a
do a bit of our own research.
Yeah, a bit of a nibble
in this day and age.
Excellent stuff.
Right, 9 minutes to 9.
Morning there at Seacliff, a breakdown causing a few delays. Brighton Road near Maitland Terrace delays back up to Cement Hill. Crash at Newton still getting sorted. That one, Montague Road near St Bernard's Road, and still got delays at Melrose Park due to that loose road plate South Road near Raglan Avenue. Busy Marion Road, Marion with the camera this morning. Main South Road, Old Renoa. Get a triple points boost on every shop in store or online at Woolworths. Just boost the offer on the Everyday Rewards app. Ends March 13. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
South Australia is a great state, but it can be better.
Owning and running a home is harder than ever. We'll make housing more affordable by scrapping stamp duty on established homes for first home buyers and discounting it for downsizers. We'll build more homes by cutting taxes on tradies and by investing in new rapid build techniques. We will subsidise batteries and give a cash incentive to get solar on rentals, and we'll cap council rate increases.
That's how we'll get the important things right.
Authorised by AHIDE Liberal Party only.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Business too small to be noticed by those global car rental companies? Well, you can rely on Red Spot to look after you. We love renting to small businesses because we used to be one. We're the only Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
Your backyard doesn't need another barbecue. It needs a centerpiece. Rustic Wood Ovens handcraft custom wood-fired ovens built to suit your space with stainless or granite benchtops, integrated barbecue options, electrical fittings and expert trades behind every detail. If you're serious about entertaining, you need to be serious about the space. Speak to Rustic Wood Ovens and craft your culinary dreams with wood-fired elegance. Visit rusticwoodovens.com today.
A farmer injured on a remote station. A child with a snake bite. A motor vehicle accident. Anywhere in South Australia, your Royal Flying Doctor Service is there to help, but they can't do their life-saving work without your help. March 5 is Double Up for the Doc Day, where your donation will be matched dollar for dollar by some very generous partners. Make double the difference on Double Up for the Doc Day, March 5. Visit flyingdoctor.com.au.
Imagine waking up to a to-do list that includes ACE.
Don't you dare. Fancy a dance?
Downsize and upgrade your lifestyle at a Living Choice retirement resort and swap chores for choices. Gotcha. A choice of locations to live, passions to pursue, and ways to feel young again. For a limited time, enjoy a $10,000 lifestyle package. Conditions apply.
To happy days.
Visit livingchoice.com.au.
The state election is on March 21. Early voting period is from March 14 until 6 p.m. March 20. Voting, it's a good thing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
5 to 9. Now, I might have to filibuster for a second here. We received the official vote from our listeners regarding the democracy sausage, thanks to Najobi a moment ago, of the three choices. Vegemite and cheese, one flavour. Biltong spices was the other. And the lamb, mint and rosemary, the traditional, won by an absolute streak. Now, the reason I'm filibustering, because otherwise you're going to hear David chewing away.
And I know how much that upsets you, Will, so I was deliberately getting away from the mic as well to not upset the listeners.
Mastication?
Mastication.
Now,
from masticar, the Latin to chew. No, Greek, mastica.
Having chewed.
Actually means sap.
What do you think?
Well, I've only eaten two, and they're both terrific. I've eaten the Vegemite one.
Oh, they're all winners.
It's the biltong one. I'm about to eat the winner.
Okay, you're about to have the winner. So you've had the first two.
Good. Really
we've had
really good.
We've had great response to our competition this morning for the optimism scale for footy fans, one from every club. And what we thought we'd do is give a random participant tickets to go and see the California Crooners Club at Gluttony. They're on Monday night at Gluttony in Rymel Park, home of the biggest shows this fringe. Tickets from gluttony.net.au. Congratulations to Don in the Adelaide Hills, who was a Saints fan who called in. And the Saints fans, it's been a while since they've felt this good going in the footy season. Yeah. So, Don, we thought we'd continue the good times, at least until the real stuff starts, and give you some tickets to get along to see California Crooners Club.
Commiserations to both Ashton and Kyam, but they're probably going to be busy Monday night and indeed all the other nights between now and March 21st. That lamb sausage is excellent. They were all good. And
you agree with our listeners?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I really like the Vegemite one. The biltong one, you could really taste the same sort of those South African spices, but the lamb, rosemary and mint, people are going to love it. Right. Really good.
Well, we're going to tell you how you can get it on barbecues at your election day very, very soon. This one is going to be an absolute crowd pleaser. Let's check fuel before we go, and it is creeping up. Better to be a member with RAA Road Service. The cheap spots, these are now cheap. Then this would have been considered expensive a week ago. $1.68.5 at the Solo Port Adelaide Clare Street. Same to United Rosewater and Grand Junction Road. Diesel, $1.73.9 is a good price. You can get it at the Solo Nailsworth on Main North Road. That is all from us on this Wednesday morning. We'll catch you tomorrow from 6.